WZR Radio here on WZROnline.com. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone. We're going to be here for the next 2 hours talking pro wrestling. We're talking about the TNA Final Resolution pay-per-view on Sunday night and Monday Night Raw from last night. Lots and lots to talk about. We're taking the live phone calls in hour number 2 and rapid fire, whatever else. Matty Boone, what's going on, brother?
You know, I knew you weren't going to list it in your little rundown either. 2 other big events from this past weekend, you don't even mention them. They don't even get an honorable mention from the host of this shindig. Pacquiao gets knocked flat on his face, unconscious. UFC on Fox.
Yeah.
BJ Penn gets destroyed. Nate Diaz gets turned inside out. Shogun gets beat. They don't even get a mention.
Let me
TNA paper.
let me tell you what happened right there. I thought it would it'd be a good idea to open up with the Triple H's theme song, and goddamn that was loud, dude. And I'm trying to talk. See, what people don't understand as when we have music playing and we're trying to talk over the top of it. God, that was distracting, dude. So I feel like I'm screaming into the microphone. Well, this thing is blaring in my ear, dude. I fucked it. It wasn't a good way to open the show. You know what I mean?
It sounded normal to me. I don't know. You wear a headset though, right? So you got the music blasting in your ears like if you're wearing earphones.
Right. It's like you've got music blasting and then you're talking into a microphone.
Yeah,
and,
directly in your ears, the music, and then you're trying to talk into a microphone. Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But anyways, so
the weekend, man. What did we do this weekend?
How about those Detroit Lions, brother?
You motherfucker, fuck you. How did the Bills do? I didn't even see.
They, you know what happened, dude? We were winning the whole game, and then it happened. It happened a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember who it was against, but it happened again on Sunday. The final drive of the game, they came down, the St. Louis Rams, they came down and they beat us, man.
That's what I was waiting to hear, which way. It finally happened again. I didn't know if it was good or bad.
No,
Detroit did the same thing. We were whooping up on Green Bay, and then fucking slowly but surely, the tide turned, and by the end, no dice.
Yeah, Green Bay is a tough team. You've got Aaron Rodgers and Jermichael Finley's killing it this year.
We had it was 14-3 at one point early on. I mean, we were starting off good, but
you know what I thought last night's game between the Houston Texans. I mean, who would have thought, man? The Houston Texans who
whooped up on them, right?
Houston's been a nobody for years and years and years, and then this year, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, they're probably going to meet again in the playoffs coming up here.
That was only like their second or third loss this year, right? To the Pats last night.
They don't have many, man. I'm not sure what the record is. I know the Atlanta Falcons, I believe, are the best team in the league, and they got beat up by. I mean, Atlanta got beat up by Carolina, and Carolina's one of the worst teams in the league.
This past Sunday?
Yeah, Cam Newton came out. Cam Newton came out for the Panthers on Sunday and really beat up on Matt Ryan and the Falcons. So
you made your fantasy shit public when you first did the draft. You made a big deal about it on the show. We haven't had an update on your fantasy league.
How
are we doing in fantasy?
All right, listen to this, man. We're already in the playoffs, right? I think the playoffs started either this week or next week, right? Because you got to.
Everybody get to be in the playoffs, or do you have to make the playoffs like the real NFL?
You gotta make the playoffs like the real NFL.
You made the playoffs?
No. But I did win this week. My let me see. Let me go into my fantasy thing here. I've got it. It's all online, right? I beat somebody.
What did you pay to get into those leagues?
It's one of them's $100, another one's $200, and then another.
Kiss my nuts, dude. $200 to fucking play fantasy football.
Well, I'm in 2 fantasy football leagues, and I'm in a third league where basically you put points on the teams you think are gonna win, and that one costs $200 too. So it was $500.
So you threw that $500 down.
Yeah.
To play and. You know good enough now because there's enough weeks have gone by. Are you going to make any money out of this, or is that a complete $500 loss?
In the one fantasy league, I'm in the playoffs right now. In this fantasy league,
you got to win to make money, right? And then what do you get if you win?
The winner of the one league gets $500 for the winning team, $250 for the second place team, and then $100 for the third place team. And then the other league that I'm in, you pay $200, but every single week you can win $200, $100, or $50. So if you win 1 week, you already get your money back. If you get second,
How many weeks did you win this year?
I won the entire thing 1 week, so I got $200 there, and then I've gotten a couple third place finishes. So I don't know,
That's
probably
what, 50?
Yeah, 50 a pop. So I'm probably up around 350 in that league, and I paid 200 to get in. So I'm up.
All right. So if you get any money out of the other league that you might make the playoffs in, then you might at least break even.
Yeah, right. Now listen to this, man. This week I played. Here's the deal. I won 176 to 140 this week. I had Tom Brady put me up 43 points. I had Darren Sproles put me up 23 points. Marshawn Lynch killed it this week for 30 points. Stevie Johnson on Buffalo, 13 points, not bad. Marquise Colston, who usually kills it, only put up 10 points this week. Victor Cruz did his thing this week. We had 26 points there. Owen Daniels, my tight end, didn't do much, only 4 there. And then the guy I played against, he had RG3, who didn't do all that good this week. He had Ray Rice, who killed it, Trent Richardson, Hakeem Nicks.
Baltimore?
No, this is my fantasy team. I mean, these are my players versus his players. You know what I mean? So
yeah, tune out for a second. I just heard RG3 played Ray Rice or some shit like that.
Yeah. So I won this week, but as far as the standings are concerned, I am the worst team in the league. I've got a 2-11 record in this, 2 wins and 11 losses in this league. Worst team in the entire league, but I won yesterday, right? So what are you gonna do?
Is it like the real NFL that if you have the worst record next year you get the first draft pick, or
no, we picked 10 cards.
That doesn't seem right. That shouldn't be how it is. Especially, I mean,
but listen,
league you're in, is it a repeat league? Like, have you been in it for a couple of years?
Right, I've been in it, but every year, you pick cards. He's got a deck of cards, and it's 1 through 10. Everybody picks a card, and whoever gets number 1, 2, 3, that's where you do the draft. It should be. I should get the first draft pick next year.
That's what I'm saying. If it's
not how it works.
The same league next year, you should be like, well, this motherfucker had the worst record. So
no, but listen.
First pick.
Listen to my fantasy team, all right? Tom Brady, right? Darren Sproles, Marshawn Lynch, one of the best running backs in the league, Stevie Johnson, nasty receiver, Marquise Colston, Victor Cruz, Owen Daniels. How am I 2-11? I mean, this team is nasty. It's
just
just
sound that good to me.
It is very good. Victor Cruz killed it. Marquise Colston is one of the best receivers in the league.
You got Calvin Johnson on there, man. Who's your defense?
I've got Green Bay or the Saints as far as that. But defense and kickers in fantasy football, defense and kickers don't score you any points. Defense.
I thought defense does get you a lot of points.
I mean, defense is all right. Kickers don't get you shit. Defense.
Yeah.
I mean, the last things you pick during your fantasy draft are your kickers and your defense.
Special teams and defense.
Right.
And all that
they just don't matter. You know what I mean? But anyways, I mean, I got a nasty team. It's just that the people I'm playing, they have players that blow up every single week against me, and they put up 200 points, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I've got the third highest scoring team in the entire league, yet I'm the worst. I've got the worst record in the league. It doesn't make.
Don't you get? Wasn't it? Am I crazy, or does he have like some kind of? Is it a website or a TV channel where you can tune in? And it's like SportsCenter, where they got like stats, like you got this many points, you got this many yards, you got this many. This is the rankings. Like it's like all professional or whatever.
Yeah, no, fantasy football is a big deal, man. You got to get into it. I mean, it makes the games interesting. The only problem is, if you're rooting for the Detroit Lions, and then you've got somebody that is on the other team, you got to root for them too.
It makes every game interesting too. Because like for me personally, every week all I do is I try and watch the Detroit game if I can, but I usually can't. So I try and follow it on NFL.com and like follow all the stats and that little graph they have, that picture graph where the arrows move when they throw a pass or run. I follow that, and after the Detroit game's over, I don't give a shit about any of the other games. But if you're in fantasy, then you have to care about every game because you got players scattered all around the league and shit.
I should have this going in the,
Hey! Welcome to Sunday Night Football here on
We should every time we talk about football, we should put that on in the
I don't know
background.
why you've never thought of that before. That's pretty good. And it's
All right.
also the UFC on Fox theme. You can play it when we talk UFC.
It is. That's
Fucking,
that's
Yeah,
well,
it's considered a sports theme. Like I think it's stupid. It's so the football theme. You can call it sports theme all you want. You think of the NFL when you hear that music, and it's weird when the UFC comes on. That music hits.
well,
It
you've
just
got
don't feel
you've got the CBS one too.
Aha! Yeah.
That's the CBS one, and then you've got the Faith Hill one for that's the NBC one, right? On Sunday Night Football, where she comes on and she's
Yeah.
We could want to play that one too.
You know,
Gotta wait for it to hit. Yeah, that one sucks. That's horrible.
yeah.
But
It
whatever.
didn't sound that good either, the quality. At
All
least
right.
on my end it didn't. You know what you got to get queued up for Raw?
What's that?
Is the Muppet Babies theme song. Muppet Babies.
Well, you know what? They promoted last week that the Muppets were going to be the social media ambassadors for Monday Night Raw, and then
Yeah.
they appeared live on the they taped Tribute to the Troops, which is going to air next Wednesday on the USA Network, and then it's going to air again near Christmas time or New Year's time on NBC. But they had them all over that show, and I thought on Sunday they were going to tape a bunch of vignettes and things like that backstage, and then they were going to air on Raw last night, and we didn't have much of the Muppets on Raw last night. I mean,
No, I watched Raw last night, by the way, if you're
Did you?
wondering.
Yeah.
I actually I watched it today. I just finished watching it, so it's fresh in my mind, too. And I saw, the only thing I caught, because I was fast-forwarding, they had commercials included in the file I downloaded.
Right.
So I had to skip past the commercials, so sometimes I'd get a little bit into it, and I didn't care because it was like a match or something. But the only thing I saw was a tweet from, like, Kermit the Frog talking about something. I don't even remember. It wasn't important.
And Miss Piggy, I think there was a tweet from her or something
Oh, yeah, I
like
didn't see
that.
that one.
Guest star, Mr. John Cleese.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's time to light the light.
That's not right.
Time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
Dude.
It's time to put on makeup.
That's the Muppet Show. We need
Yeah,
the
dude, Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
Why are we playing the Muppets thing? I don't know.
Because it'll give you a pop, dude. It'll get a pop from the crowd. It's funny as shit, that song. I used to watch that when I was a real young kid.
The Muppets Baby. All right, here we go. This is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll know it.
Oh!
Yeah.
There you go.
When your world looks kinda weird and you wish that you were there. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
And you could be anywhere.
So, check it out. This is what we're going to do. Like I talked about at the top of the hour, we had a TNA final resolution on Sunday night. Man, I got a big problem with Orlando, and the more and more I watch Impact, the
Yeah, I
more
told the chat room. They all thought that was Kermit the Frog when I was singing this. Now I'm a fucking real life gangster.
more and more of a problem with the crowd in Orlando, Florida. I watch Impact, I watch the pay-per-views. They start off hot, everything's good to go, man, and then by the end of the show, you can hear a pin drop in the place, and it just kills the freaking show, man. I mean, final resolution.
No, a crowd makes or breaks a show for sure, especially if it's not a good show and it's a horrible show with a bad crowd. And if it is
Right.
a good show, a great crowd can make it a great show. Like I didn't see the TNA pay-per-view, and I don't know if you'll agree, but maybe it was just me. I don't know. They were in Jersey last night, I think, but the Raw crowd didn't seem that hot at all to me.
No,
crazy,
they were hot for a few different
Yeah,
segments,
certain
like
things, but for a lot of stuff, it just seemed like a flat reaction in general.
It was. It definitely was. I was taking a big swig of
Yeah.
Pepsi there, but
I heard that.
the Miz
Oh, we got a
TV
little Pepsi, a little caffeine for the show. What are we doing?
caffeine free Pepsi. I don't
Oh,
drink.
You pussy.
Yeah.
You You pussy. What guy drinks caffeine-free anything? What's wrong with you?
Well, I drink tons of coffee during the day, but as far as
All
Pepsi,
right, that counts.
and I can't drink Coke either. I don't like Coke, man. I like Pepsi.
Oh, dude, I love Coke. You're
no.
over Coke?
Oh my God, of course, dude. No Coke.
Oh,
Coke
fuck that.
sucks. Get out of here.
Everybody in the chat room, let's take it to the chat room. Coke or Pepsi? I gotta say Coca-Cola, man.
No, let's take it to the.
Yeah,
We'll take it straight to the website, man. You got to promote the poll on the
I was gonna
website, right?
suggest that, but I didn't think you'd go for it.
Well, all right. So let's do it. We'll put up a poll, right? Let me
Pepsi.
go. Okay, Coke or Pepsi.
Which soft drink do you prefer, Coke or Pepsi?
All right, that sounds like a good one. So,
there we go.
Which soft drink?
Should I tell people how they can vote on this poll? Or
Yes, let's do it.
All right, well, everybody, what you want to do is you want to go into your little web browsers there. You see it. It's on the internet machine. You know, your web browser on the internet machine. You type in www, 3 W's, www in the browser on your internet machine, www.WZROnline.com. Once you get there, on the top part of the page there, you get a poll. It says, which is your favorite soft drink? Which soft drink do you prefer, Coke or Pepsi? Cast your vote. At the end of the show, we'll let you know what America's favorite soft drink is.
There you go.
Entertainment, folks.
Everyone,
That's entertainment. WZROnline.com.
So it's Coca-Cola and Pepsi. That's your only two choices. I mean, we can do Mountain Dew
I
and
see everybody in the
everything
chat
else.
doing Shasta and fucking Mr. Pibb. Get the fuck out of here. Coke or Pepsi?
Everybody, everybody's going to say Pepsi. So anyways, it's up right now. Go to WZROnline.com. And on the right-hand side of the website, just scroll down under the shout box. You can go vote in the poll. And then, before we go off the air here tonight, we'll give you the results of that poll. Which soft drink do you prefer, Coca-Cola or Pepsi?
They'll be on the edge of their seats waiting to, Coca-Cola or Pepsi. They'll be on the edge of their seats waiting for the results on this one, I think. I think this is the most anticipated poll result we'll ever have.
Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go.
Well, what's more important in the world than knowing if people like Pepsi or Coke? I can't wait to find out. I actually am curious to see.
So this is what we're going to do. Like I said, we're going to run down TNA Final Resolution from Sunday night. We're going to talk Monday Night Raw from last night. Pretty good show on Raw last night. Final Resolution.
Oh, are you kidding me? We're going to disagree, buddy.
I thought it was decent. I mean, it wasn't as good. It wasn't as good as it has been to me in the past couple of weeks. But yeah, it was. I mean, there were high points and low points. There always is on Monday Night Raw. But I don't know. I thought it was all right last night. Anyways,
I thought it was garbage.
Big happy birthday to Allison Clark.
Allison Clark turns how old today?
28 years old. We just had a big celebration out there. She said, am I going to get a shout out on WZR Radio tonight? I said, of course you are. So big shout out to Allison Clark. Happy 28th birthday to Allison Clark. Oh, where's the, you're right.
Yeah, you got that theme you always play for the state. You got two different ones. I remember one that I've never even heard of, but you seem to know it.
God damn it, man. I don't have it queued up, but I do need to cue that up.
What kind of producer are you? This is your sister we're talking about, for Christ's sake.
I know.
I'm trying to stall for you. I don't know if you're going for it or if you said fuck it.
Well, keep stalling for me so that I...
Alright, it's your sister, for Christ's sake.
Here we go. Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm bobbing my head over here. Oh, yeah. Clap it up. I'm bobbing my head.
All right, get out of here with that.
Where do you find that shit?
I YouTubed it, so there you go. So big happy birthday to my sister today, man. We had a big birthday cake, ice cream cake. We had pizza, wings, roast beef, all that good stuff. Right before we came on the air here tonight, so we got that.
With roast beef on
Come on, man, we got to get into come on, we got to get these plugs out of the way. So we had pizza, roast beef, we had all sorts of stuff.
What kind of weird mix is that?
We're gonna be talking about the UFC on Fox from this past Saturday night. Boom brought that up earlier. Also talking about the big boxing fight, Manny Pacquiao and Marquez #4, happened Saturday night as well. It's been crazy busy. We've got WWE SmackDown being taped tonight in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Mick Foley is in the building, so we'll see what they do with him. Mick Foley over on SmackDown. He sent out a tweet late last night, said he was headed to SmackDown, so we'll see what happens there. And then a big snowstorm, 3 big snowstorms on the way for next week, brother. It's about time, man. man. We're in December. We need some snow. We need some cold weather up here.
That's what you asked me for, so you could talk about your local weather.
Yes, sir.
Dickhead.
Yes, sir. So we got that coming. And here's the deal. As far as the next couple of weeks goes, next Tuesday night, WWE, they are doing, it's basically WWE week on the USA Network. Monday, they're doing Raw. Tuesday, there is a live WWE SmackDown telecast. What does that mean for us? We can't compete with WWE.
Oh, that's
we
right.
can, but we choose not to. So, next Tuesday night, what do you want to do? I'm going to bring it up to you. You want to do Wednesday night
Bro,
next week?
it's your gig, man. You tell me where to show up and what time I'm there. Yeah, it's SmackDown's commercial free too. It's not just live, right? It's commercial free.
It's commercial free next week. So
Yeah,
how
we can't
about Wednesday? Next Wednesday we'll be here. Sound good?
What's the date? It's not near Christmas or nothing yet.
No. Well, we're gonna get to that. It'll be the
Wednesday is
19th.
Okay. Oh,
Right.
damn! Christmas is a Tuesday. Ha!
I'm getting to that. Give me a
Okay,
second
I didn't
here,
even
brother.
know.
You gotta give me a minute. So next Tuesday night we're not gonna be here. We will postpone it one day. We'll be here next Wednesday night from 8 to 10 Eastern time. Well, they do the live WWE SmackDown special the following week, Tuesday. It is the 25th. Obviously, that is Christmas Day. We're not gonna be here on Christmas Day, so we'll see you guys next Wednesday night. Then we're going to take the following week off. And then the week after that is going to be January 1st.
Oh
So
my God.
we are going to be here on New Year's Day. If it was New Year's Eve, that's going to be Monday night, and you've got Raw and everything else. We may be a
by
little
8
bit...
o'clock New Year's Day, we won't be hungover anymore. We'll be good to go.
Exactly. I was saying we'll have all day to recover after New Year's Eve, so we'll be here New Year's Day. So basically, we're going to be here next Wednesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. The following week is Christmas, so we will not be here, and then the following week after that is New Year's Day, and we will be here. So
So
there
let me
you
get
go.
it straight. Christmas week, you're just taking that week off? You're not going to do a makeup show that week?
I'll be here working on Christmas, to be honest with you. I work every Christmas.
Me too. What the fuck else am I going to do?
You know?
Christmas is Tuesday to me. It ain't nothing. What's Christmas?
So there we go. All right, let's get into it, man. Go vote in the poll, Coke or Pepsi, WZROnline.com for that. If you guys want t-shirts, send me an email. I had a couple emails last week. I'm going to ship those out to you. Yeah. Webmaster of ProWrestlingScoops.com. I'm going to ship those out. Send me an email, and I will get them out ASAP for you. Here we go. TNA Final Resolution from Sunday night. I know you didn't see the pay-per-view.
What'd you think of it as a whole show, though? Was it a good show or a bad show?
Yeah, it wasn't one of TNA's better efforts,
geez.
to be honest with you, man. They, I mean, I just, the crowd takes the life out of it, like you said earlier, man. You need a good crowd, and by the time the main event came around, I mean, you could hear a pin drop in the place, and it just, I don't know, man.
Where was the pay-per-view? Was it just in Orlando like usual? Or?
Yeah.
That's the problem. They don't move around. I mean, you can't play to that same fucking crowd. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there was some good matches. We'll run it down from top to bottom here. I mean, it wasn't a horrible. I'd say, I don't know, a C+, maybe even a B-. It was just, I had a big problem with the crowd. And then not only that, but the next TNA pay-per-view that's going to be outside of Orlando is Lockdown. You've got Genesis coming up in January, and then in February you're going to have Lockdown. Lockdown, they're going to be in San Antonio, Texas at the Alamo Dome. So you'll have a hot crowd there. And then, you know, the Lockdown pay-per-view, it's all cage matches too, which, you know,
Good for the live crowd, yeah.
Exactly. So, alright, here we go. Final resolution from Sunday night. They opened it up by James Storm, who is legitimately injured with a rib injury. He came out, gets on the microphone, and basically said that he wanted a match with Bobby Roode right now. Instead, Frankie Kazarian comes out, and these guys go back and forth on the microphone. I mean, the crowd was hot here, man. And James Storm had a couple good lines here. He said something about, you know, Kazarian told him, you know, take your shit and go ride off into the sunshine or something like that. And James Storm fired back and said, we don't ride into the sunshine, we drink moonshine, which was kind of a cool line. You had to see it live, man. I don't know. It was alright.
Not in the sunshine, the moonshine was a cool line. Try and say that shit 10 times fast.
Alright, there you go. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
Woodchuck, a lot of wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Yeah.
How much wood do you think a woodchuck could if it would go, could Chuck would. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, you fucked that one up.
Last week we had it going, man. Remember? We had it going for like a fucking full minute.
Right? So we, I don't know. They went back and forth on the microphone, and eventually James Storm challenged Kazarian to a match right then and there, and then, came up with another line, or do you have to ask your boyfriend first? Something about, Kazarian and Chris. I'm telling you, dude, it was comedy. It was good comedy for pro wrestling, dude. You know how it is.
I was just doing like the studio audience fucking sound effects response to that.
Crowd popped pretty big for that. So they kicked off the match, right? There was no referee at first. James Storm against Kazarian, that kicked us off for the pay-per-view. It was a short match, and you could clearly see that James Storm, with that real-life rib injury that he has, didn't do much and was clearly trying to protect himself, and they kept it real short. Storm hit
he didn't take any bumps then, right? Like he didn't get thrown on his back end.
Everything was protected, man. Everything was protected, and then he hit the. It's basically, Jericho uses the code breaker. Same thing is James Storm's finisher, and then he did the.
What do you think about the decision to have him? The match wasn't important. It wasn't. It wasn't even announced, right? They just threw it together, and then so it wasn't a match that they needed. So why risk somebody that's injured? That's the main guy. I don't get it. Like, why did they do that?
It's a good question. It's a good question to bring up. Why have a guy that's injured go out there and work a match that wasn't even promoted?
I could say if it was already announced, or if it was something they needed to do to advance the story, but it was like just thrown together to have a match. And if that's the case, why do that with somebody that's injured? That's the top guy. It doesn't make seems too risky.
So James Storm hit the code breaker and then the super kick for the win there. And once again, man, like I said, James Storm was protecting himself, and it was a risky move to put him out there, when he's got a real life rib injury. You had Rob Van Dam against the returning Kenny King up next for the X Division title. Now on paper, you're thinking Rob Van Dam, great worker. Kenny King, used to watch him in Ring of Honor all the time. Two great workers, right? Kenny
King isn't that Kenny Dykstra or Kenny whatever the fuck that from the Spirit Squad. That's not that Kenny.
No, one's white, one's black.
Okay. Oh, Kenny King's black. I didn't even know that.
Right. But both great in-ring workers. Something wasn't clicking here, man. I don't know what it was, but something. I don't know, man. I just expected more. There were "This is awesome" chants, not the entire arena, but like a scattered section where it was "This is awesome," and it had its moments, but something. There was something missing, man. Maybe I went into the match thinking on paper this is going to be nasty, and it just didn't turn out as good as I thought it would be, but whatever.
They were missing that it factor, you said?
Yeah, something was missing there, man. Wasn't clicking. Rob Van Dam picked up the win here with was basically like a head scissors takedown, and then tapped him out. So that was that. We had Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez against Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan. Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan, they are now a tag team. TNA's got high hopes for Matt Morgan, and they always have, right? Matt Morgan, basically left TNA for a while, eventually wound up re-signing. There was talk that he was going to go to WWE, eventually came back to TNA, right? They love this guy, man, for some reason. I know he's got the look.
It's obvious the reason. He's big, he's a big guy, and he's got the look.
Right, but on the it's just the microphone work. The dude can't talk for shit, and I don't think
they think he can. What do you think of that theory? I think that TNA thinks that Matt Morgan can cut a good promo, and that's why they feature him on promos, because it seems like he's always doing promos every time I watch.
I hope now that they've got him teamed up with Joey Ryan, let Joey Ryan do the talking. Joey Ryan's great, right? Right, he's great on the microphone. Let him do the talking. Eventually, this is how it works, man. People team up. It's like Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. They're a tag team in WWE. What happens to tag teams eventually? They split up and then they do the singles match, right? And that's eventually what's going to happen. You've got Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara teamed up in WWE right now. Eventually, eventually one of them's going to turn on the other, and then that's going to lead us into WrestleMania, and you're going to have Rey Mysterio versus Sin Cara in a one-on-one match, mask versus mask, whatever the stipulation they may have. And there may not even be one, but eventually tag teams split up and you do the one-on-one singles match, right? Eventually that's going to happen with, Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez, Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan.
Eventually it's going to happen with every team.
It happens with everybody, you know what I mean? So this was it was a good match for what it was. Joey Ryan was in there with Chavo Guerrero for most of the match. And then the finish had Chavo Guerrero hit a frog splash on Joey Ryan. Matt Morgan pulled referee Brian Stifler out of the ring, right? And that resulted in a disqualification DQ finish. And then in the post-match segment, you had Guerrero went after Matt Morgan on the outside. Morgan caught him and rammed him into the post, and then Hernandez did the dive to the outside onto Matt Morgan. So it looks like they're going to do a program with Matt Morgan and Hernandez. You know why they're doing that, right? Two big guys, Hernandez, Matt Morgan, So it looks like they're going to do that eventually. There was a backstage interview. Austin Aries. Aries basically, did a Hulk Hogan style promo. What you going to do when Austin Aries runs wild on you, brother? Called Bully Ray Mark, which is, his real name, and whatever. I don't know.
I read it when I was writing I read it as if he was calling him a Mark. He was calling him Mark because his name's Mark?
Correct.
I did not know that. Huh.
We had Austin Aries. That led us into Austin Aries and Bully Ray. Up until this point, this was the best match on the show. Really good stuff. I mean, until Brooke Hogan ran down, they're doing this whole storyline where Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan have some sort of relationship, and Hulk Hogan wants to know what the deal is. Bully Ray, what are you doing with my daughter? Blah, 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 blah. And then Bully Ray came out, cut a promo on Impact.
How old is Bully Ray? Bully Ray's in his 40s, right?
Bully Ray, I'll tell you what, Bully Ray is in the best shape of his life right now, man. Lost a lot of weight, and not only that, dude, but he was in there with a guy like Austin Aries at TNA Final Resolution, and they tore the house down, man. Yeah,
Aries, you're right. But no, I'm saying because of the dating storyline, not the match or his work or anything like that. I'm saying it's kind of weird that Brooke Hogan, she's got to be very early 20s, and Bully Ray's got to be in his 40s, no?
Yeah, and Austin Aries is involved there too.
And Hulk Hogan's booking it, so what the fuck? Why would he pick some old fat guy?
Well, it's like real life stuff. If you saw the stuff on Impact on Impact last week, Austin Aries comes out and says, "Oh, look at this, Brooke Hogan, laying on her back. Oh, Hulk Hogan and the media. Oh, it's all about the Hogans. Oh, what do you know? More publicity for Hulk Hogan. His family drama all over the news, all over Impact. I mean, it's kind of like real life storyline type stuff that they're doing, so it comes across good on TV. It makes for.
But to me, it's just great. Just having Brooke Hogan on there in any form or fashion scream because Hulk Hogan's in charge. His daughter couldn't make it as a singer. Her reality show's done, so let's make her a knockout or a diva or whatever, and at least she's still on TV and can be famous for a little,
Yeah.
But and I bet she's a horrible actress too. Like when she's got to pretend to be scared or pretend to be happy. Like I just picture it being very lame and cheesy.
Well, dude, the whole Hogan family is just weird, man. I mean, remember those photos that came out where it was Brooke Hogan and right? He's putting sun tanning lotion all over her ass and shit. It's like, dude, that's your daughter, bro.
He splits up with his wife, and his new wife or girlfriend, wife now. Looks just like Brooke Hogan. Looks just fucking like her.
Looks just like Brooke Hogan.
Yeah. It's creepy. He's got some kind of creepy thing going on there. I think America's done with the Hogan family, too.
And then you've got Linda Hogan, who was out there dating that guy, Charlie Hill, right? And the dude,
the young kid,
I mean, she's like 50-something years old, and this Charlie guy is 20, 21, 22 years old. And then it comes out that the Charlie guy went to school with Nick and Brooke. So their mother is dating one of the dude, it's just
Jerry
what
Springer
the
shit. And it's kind of funny and ironic that the wife cheats or leaves Hogan for a young kid, and then Hogan books his young daughter to have pretty much the reverse
right
on TV with Bully Ray. Like she's young, Bully Ray's old. Linda was old, Charlie Hill was young. It's like it swapped around or some shit. That's just fucking ironic.
Yeah,
it means nothing.
But you know what? Give it up for Hogan though, dude. I mean, Hogan knows that he's got all this real life drama, right? And he brings it right on the TV. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Hogan could have said, "No, I'm not doing that angle, man. I'm not doing a storyline like this," and he agreed to it. He's running with it, you know. But it's Hogan, you know what I mean? Of course
I'm
he's got.
surprised back when all that was going down with Linda that he didn't bring Linda and Charlie Hill in and try and fucking make something out of that. He could have.
You know,
got TNA a shitload of attention.
I'll tell you what, man. Gawker, Gawker.com, they were the website that posted the clip, right? The Hulk Hogan sex tape clip.
Yeah.
And Hogan went after him in court, said, "I'm going to sue you for," I don't know what, it was something outrageous. It was like $500 million or something like that. Something outrageous, right? Right? And Gawker basically responded to the initial lawsuit and said, basically, dude, fuck off, man. You know what I mean? Dude, your life has been out there. You're in the public eye. You knew that this was being recorded, blah, 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 blah. So then Hogan, you know, he gets all pissed off and he goes to court and he says, "Well, I'm going to sue you for this, that, and the other thing." Well, the judge last week basically told Hulk Hogan, or basically told Gawker, "You ain't got to remove anything. You're good to go, man." And Hogan is just getting dicked, literally, over by the courts, man. I mean, over and over. The court's basically saying, you know what? The sex tape is already out there. The preview clip's already out there. There's nothing you can do about it now. Gawker doesn't need to remove it, and you're screwed, man. Literally. You know, you're fucked.
How's that legal? That doesn't seem right to me. How they can... Why? I mean, legally, shouldn't they have to take... I mean, okay, screw it. It's already been out forever. Everybody's already seen it. But that doesn't mean that they should be like, well, they don't have to take it down. They should still have to take it down, right? They don't own the video. It's not... How is that legal?
It's all jurisdiction, man. I mean, it all depends on the courts. I mean, some courts
weird ass legal system, bro.
It is a weird ass legal system, man. But I mean, Gawker basically says, listen, you knew that you were being taped, and you know somebody on your behalf leaked it out, and the judge agreed with him and basically said, listen, man, well you don't have to remove anything. You know, you can keep it up. So Hogan.
Weird how that works. I mean, Jeff Hardy was found with like a small country's amount of drugs in his fucking house. And he never did a day in jail. He just went to court for 2 years, and like nothing ever happened.
Well, you know what happens now? If you're sentenced, let's say that you get a 1 year sentence in prison, right? 365 days in the slammer. Out of those 365 days, due to jail overcrowding, etc., you probably serve less than 25% of that time. So if you're sentenced to 1 year, you probably get, I don't know, maybe 80 days, 70 days, even less than that, man.
For a year? I don't know about all that.
For a year in jail, if you're sentenced to a year in jail, you only serve less than 25% of that sentence.
Really?
Really,
I don't know about all that.
Because of jail overcrowding. I mean, if you're a murderer, you know, you're gonna have to apply for what do they apply for when you try to get out of jail early?
Parole?
No, not parole. You appeal it. Somebody in the chat room will help me out with the name. It's not coming to me right now. But anyways, you only serve, you know, about 25% of the sentence, no matter what it is. So there you go. Anyways, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com. /chat, WZROnline.com /chat. Lots and lots of people in there tonight. Back to TNA Final Resolution. We had a knockouts match. It was Terra against Mickie James. Last year at Final Resolution, they had Mickie James and Gail Kim for the TNA knockouts title. But this year we had Terra, formerly known as Victoria in WWE, against Mickie James. This was actually a fairly decent match, man, for the
ladies match.
A decent ladies match, man. We had
I'll be a son of a bitch.
Jesse from you know, the reality star there. I can't remember the show that he was on. Jesse, Big Brother. That's what it was. He was out there. He was there on the outside. They did a backstage interview between these two. Terra and Jesse were backstage making out and doing their thing that they normally do before the match, and then Mickie James went for a spin kick, and Jesse was on the ring apron. He took a bump to the floor, and when she turned around, Terra got her and hit the Widow's Peak and got the pin. So Terra retains the TNA Knockouts title there. Then we had Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff against the Aces and Eights. We had Doc out there, Luke Gallows, Festus, and WWE. Devon was the other one that was out there. And then we had two masked guys. One of them was an indie worker from Florida named CJ Doyle. And the other one under the mask was former WWE star Mike Knox. We put that up on the website. Basically, Aces and Eights, like we said. What happened? I lost my page. Fuck. Wait a minute.
What happened? You
Wait a
just
minute.
crashed, dude.
Hold on. I need the. I need the Mick Foley theme, right?
Yeah,
the,
Mick Foley's thing.
So let me get this back up. All right, we had, like we said, it was
Aces and Eights. Knox, whatever the fuck, and then whatever.
Angle, who suffered an injury here, the guy works through numerous injuries over and over, man. He suffered a groin tear here. He only tagged in for the finish, was on the outside for the rest of the match, and pinned the indie worker, CJ Doyle. Hit him with the Olympic Slam and then picked up the pin there. So that was that. And then Angle hit Olympic Slams on everybody else in the ring too. Mike Knox.
With a torn groin?
With a torn groin, man. Angle's a beast, bro. He's a beast.
He is a bad motherfucker, man.
AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, they were building this up, for the last couple of weeks, that it was going to be one last match between these. Really,
real good too.
Really good stuff, man. They started off slow and then they worked towards, the finishing sequence where, it's matches start off slow and then towards the end of the match you've just got spot after spot after spot. And on paper, come on, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, we've seen it so many times in TNA.
Yeah, it's like when you go on the 4th of July to see a fireworks show and it starts off pop, 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 and then they build up to that big fucking finale.
Exactly.
Boom, yeah.
There you go. That's good. I like that. Good analogy right there, buddy. We had Daniels use the Styles Clash, which is AJ Styles' move, and picked up the clean pin. So that
I was surprised to hear that Daniels. I would think if it was the last time ever that Styles would be the one to go over.
Well, after the match was over, they had pushed that in the final meeting between both AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, Daniels pinned him with his own move. You know what I mean? So I don't think.
It seems to me like to the average fan, because they built it up as these guys have had this long historic feud or whatever, and this is the final confrontation.
Right.
That whoever wins is considered, to the layperson, as the better of the two. And if that's the case, wouldn't you want to put Styles over? Like, he's your guy, I didn't get that.
Right, but like I said, Daniels won with the Styles Clash, and then after it was over, they kept saying over and over about how Daniels beat AJ with his own moves. So what does that lead you into? That leads you into a rematch where AJ Styles comes out and says, well, wait a minute, you beat me with my own move, da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm guessing they're going to do another match, and then...
So that wasn't one final match, just like
AJ,
they do that again this year, time only.
AJ will come out and beat Daniels next time with the Angel's Wings or whatever Daniels' finisher is. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. Why call it one more time? That's just false advertising.
Well, they called John Cena versus The Rock once.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if they do that rematch, that's the same thing.
I mean, once in a lifetime, and if we see that again at WrestleMania, it happens all. That's pro wrestling. You know what I mean? We had, and then the main event, dude. It was Jeff Hardy and Bobby Roode for the TNA title. This went almost 25 minutes. It was basically Bobby Roode just beating the shit out of Hardy. The story of the match was Hardy came in injured from the beating that he took on Impact from the Aces and Eights. Basically, like I said, Bobby Roode just beat the shit out of him for most of the match, and then when it was over, you had Hardy came off, hit the Swanton, and then the Aces and Eights, and everybody came out, right? Aces and Eights this time, not just the 4 of them that were in the match earlier in the night, all 7 of them came out. Briscoe was out there, Garrett Bischoff, D'Lo Brown. Bobby Roode told the Aces and Eights to get Hardy, as he had the ref distracted.
They didn't do it, right? They turned around, Hardy hit him with the
exactly. Right.
Yeah, but that seems that's weird. I don't know why would they do. And then after the match, they ended up beating up Jeff Hardy anyway, right?
Right, and that's how the show went off the
They
air.
did
You
it
know.
specifically to screw Bobby Roode over. Like fuck you.
Well, Bobby,
Bobby Roode was even saying that they were supposed to do it. It was a hired gig. They were supposed to come out and help him win.
Well, they did the whole angle on Impact where they came out and they helped Bobby Roode, right? And then everybody said, well, Bobby Roode's now aligned with the Aces and Eights, so you know what's going to happen at the pay-per-view. And then when Bobby Roode at the pay-per-view said, listen, get him, go after him, and they didn't do anything, Bobby Roode's like, well, wait a minute, what the fuck, man? Are you kidding me? What about...
Until WWE has CM Punk say, all right, the Shield, go get this motherfucker, and they just beat CM Punk's ass instead.
Well, that's the whole thing, man. It's like the AJ Lee and the John Cena storyline, right? And then they had the Claire Lynch and AJ Styles, and then their WWE's doing the whole opening thing where tonight on Monday Night Raw, what are we gonna see? You know, and TNA's been doing that, and now you've got the whole, you know, the Shield in WWE and the whole Aces and Eights. I mean, people in WWE are clearly watching TNA. I mean, there's 3 ideas that I just named off the top of my head right there
that are pretty much
that are pretty much the exact same that WWE's basically went and taken, you know? So, there you go.
Yeah.
So, that's it, man. Final resolution.
So you said about a B or a C?
No, I said a C+ or a B-, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, man, the crowd, I just hated the crowd. By the end of the night, the crowd was dead. You could hear a pin drop in that place. What you guys think in the chat room? Give it a school letter grade.
Yeah.
I mean, let me go back. I mean, the main event was good. Jeff Hardy and Bobby Roode, AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. That was really good stuff. The Aces and 8 match against Angle, Joe, Briscoe, and Garrett Bischoff.
Aries and Bully Ray.
Aries. The Knockouts title match was decent for the girls, you know. Aries and Bully Ray I thought was really good. The
we
tag...
could have asked the fans to vote what their school letter grade was, but we had to ask the more important question, and that is
Coke or
which
Pepsi.
drink do you prefer, Coke or Pepsi?
So what do we got in the chat room?
Process.
A lot of C's in the chat room, right? LJ with a D+, Darksider C, Flamestyle C+, Hussein B-. We'll name a couple of these. Wendivis C+, Apex Predator 113 C+. A lot of C's, C+. You know what I mean?
Mixed bag.
There you go. So that was Final Resolution. Now, you saw Monday Night Raw from last night.
I just finished it right before we got on the air, yeah.
Yeah, what, not good, huh? You didn't like it?
Not good. I did not like it. A, it felt way too long. B, there was really nothing I thought even CM Punk's promo wasn't all that great, to be quite honest with you. And you know what I did like, though? The very first thing, as soon as they opened the show, Dolph Ziggler standing on the ladder. He cuts a great promo, or he's in the middle of cutting a great promo, and they water it down and ruin the whole segment by having Sheamus come out with his tired horse shit.
Right.
You know, I noticed that Sheamus is too smiley, too. He smiles too damn much. He's supposed to be a big badass, and he comes out smiling and trying to be funny. Like, it's so cheesy and stupid. Then Big Joe comes out, and he's saying, blah, 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 and he does it way too fucking long, and it's just...
Right.
It started so great with Ziggler, and they just shit all over it. You know, they couldn't just let him have his moment.
So we got 12 minutes, man. We'll pick the high points and the low points, and we'll run it down. Monday Night Raw from last night. Here we go. There we go. Bright lights,
right.
Everybody get
Tonight
loud.
is the night.
Tonight is the night. All right, so you just talked about it. Dolph Ziggler, man, he opened it up. Basically, the theme of the night, we've got tables, ladders, and chairs. WWE TLC coming up this Sunday night on pay-per-view. Then we're done for a little bit, man. You know, we got the holidays.
Every fucking weekend, man. This past weekend we had UFC, Pacquiao, and TNA. 3 fucking giant shows in like less than 24 hours. Too much.
It was, well, you know what? While we're on the subject of TNA, TNA is going to be cutting back their pay-per-views. We reported this past week on the website. It looks like they're only going to drop 2 as of right now. The Against All Odds pay-per-view and one other one. But here's the deal, man. Dixie Carter has for a long time wanted to basically go bi-monthly and basically,
That's what I was gonna say. They should cut it down to 8 and do 2 a quarter. 2 every quarter of the year.
Well, or do 6 pay-per-views a year. Do 1 every other month. So you've got a 2-month build, and not only that, man, but you've got the 2 top wrestling companies in the United States are obviously WWE and TNA. People that aren't viewing online streams and everything else, man, they're asking people to throw down $40 every single month. And if you're ordering both WWE and TNA, that's $80 a month,
and
man.
Don't forget UFC's out there too. There's a lot of crossover fans that you're a guy that you want to order WWE and TNA, but you want to order UFC too for somebody like you.
Right,
plenty
right.
of people in that same situation. That's $120 a month in pay-per-view. They're asking you to
But
work out.
as far as WWE is concerned, I mean, pay-per-views are a major draw for them, so they're going to continue on with 12 per year. But TNA, I mean,
Good for you.
TNA pay-per-views are only drawing, 10 to 15,000 people. You know what I mean? Where WWE
You made
draws.
me proud, brother. And then if that, I was waiting for you to finish. I didn't know where you were going with that. I was going to make the point that TNA doesn't even make money on pay-per-view, so cutting it,
Right.
they make their money off the TV, the commercials, and all this and that.
Right.
And I would think they probably break even after production costs, and if they go on the road for a pay-per-view, they don't sell enough to really make any money, so
Right.
it doesn't hurt them to cut
You're-
back. And it makes their pay-per-views bigger when they do have them.
TNA, like I said, they're only drawing 10 to 15,000 pay-per-view buys. I mean, Bound for Glory, maybe 20, 25,000, somewhere around there. So it makes more sense where if they go bi-monthly, which is, every other month they run a pay-per-view, and that's not the case right now. I mean, they're only going to drop, 1 or 2, I think 2 pay-per-views per year, and they may eventually bump that up to more and more. We'll see how it goes. It's basically a test run to see how things work out, where if they run a pay-per-view every 2 months, are they going to get more buys? Are they going to get more pay-per-view buys by running bi-monthly, So, I mean, I think it's a good idea.
In theory, they would. I mean, you would think they would because, like I said, if there's
Right.
half the amount of pay-per-views, that means when they do happen, they're that much more rare and that
Right.
much more built up and promoted, so you would think that, they would get more, sales for that reason.
Yeah. So Monday Night Raw, man. Dolph Ziggler, right, he's out there. The theme of the night was, like I said, tables, ladders, and chairs coming up this Sunday on pay-per-view. They had all the ladders out there around ringside, down the entrance ramp, etc., all over the arena, right? So Ziggs is he's out there and he's on top of the ladder and he's talking about, this Sunday he's got a TLC match against John Cena with his Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. He says John won't have a very Merry Christmas because Dolph's going to beat him this Sunday at the pay-per-view. Says after he wins, he's going to cash in his Money in the Bank contract on the Big Show. This brings out Sheamus. Right, who you say smiles too much. Sheamus comes out.
He's too smiley and tries to be funny and tell jokes. It's cheesy.
Well, that's what he did last night with the whole, made a joke about Dolph being too short and, told him if he cashes in his Money in the Bank contract, it won't be against the Big Show, it'll be against him because you got Sheamus and the Big Show coming up Sunday at TLC. So Sheamus says he's going to win the title there. So if Dolph wants to cash in, it's going to have to be against him. And not only
They made
that.
a good point, too. Somebody said something that triggered in my brain, okay, Ziggler has the briefcase on the line against Cena, right? That's the
Right.
match for TLC?
Right.
So, but he still has the briefcase now. What's stopping him from cashing it in last night? Why didn't he just cash it in,
No,
and
but
try and win the
but later
before? That way he doesn't have to win 2 matches.
Later on commentary, Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler addressed that. They brought
they
that
did,
up.
okay.
Right, actually, I think it was Dolph Ziggler was out there on commentary, and Cole said something about, well, wait a minute, you could cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase tonight, man. And then
I didn't catch that.
what about the match? So, So Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, they go back and forth on the mic, and then eventually this brings out the current world champion, Big Show. He's not amused. He's pissed off, and he mocks Dolph and Sheamus. Sheamus and Big Show go back and forth on the microphone.
They stole our line, bro. He came out saying blah, 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 blah,
Boring, boring. Who was it that came out? I think it was Chris Jericho came out. Lance Storm was in a match, and he was on the stage, and he kept saying, boring, boring.
I think it was Stone Cold that was doing that to, it was either William Regal or who'd you say?
I thought it was Chris Jericho came out and Lance Storm was in the ring.
Lance Storm, yeah, Lance Storm. And then the crowd, that became his thing. Every time he would wrestle, the crowd would chant boring at him and shit.
Was it Austin? All right, it was Austin that did it.
Yeah.
He came out and it was Lance Storm in the ring.
What, are you gonna doubt my wrestling knowledge, bro? You know I know my shit.
No, I saw it in the chat room. Everybody said it was Austin. So
I said Austin before they said Austin. You said Jericho. I was right. You were wrong. Don't ever doubt me.
Round of applause for Matt Boone. Round of applause.
Thank you. Where's the
Hey, you want a cookie too, you motherfucker?
You goddamn right. I deserve a cookie.
I got
chips.
I got ice cream cake out there, man.
I'll take a fucking bowl of ice cream cake.
Yeah, will you? Take a bowl of big bowl of dick too, motherfucker.
Fucking big bowl of dog shit. Fucking put it in your face when you're sleeping.
Get out.
Snort it straight through your nostrils.
Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, so we had so that was the opening segment. Then we Vince McMahon arrives to the arena. We had put that up on the websites yesterday that, you know, even with CM Punk's injury, which by the way is legit, they addressed that last night on Raw too.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Right.
The McMahon thing though bugged me. I don't know if did the streamers go on or is that me? Oh, that's just me. Yeah, but the McMahon thing bugged me because like I was excited when they showed him walking to the ring and they said next and all that. You know, I was like, oh hell yeah, McMahon, man! I get a Vince McMahon promo. And he came out, and he was doing the cheesy. Let's tell it. Okay. Did we talk over it?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if I was supposed to be quiet. Yeah, he comes out and he tries to do the cheesy, jokey thing, but then it's the same exact segment I saw a few weeks ago or last week with him and Vicky. It was like I actually started fast forwarding it, thinking I was on like a commercial where they were showing highlights of an old thing. It was the same exact thing. They're standing on the stage, and you know he's asking her this and that. And, you know, he wants her to say Dolph Ziggler, but she won't say. It was the same thing.
It was the same thing, but I brought this up to you last week or the week before that. Listen, I'm telling you, Vince is fucking with her, man. I honestly don't believe. I think Vicky Guerrero has bullet points, right? Where she kind of knows what's going to go on. And then Vince McMahon goes out there, and it's Vince and Vicky face to face, right? And Vince is out there, and he's asking her questions like, what do you think? We should make this match, Vicky, and this match, right? I'm telling you, he's fucking with her, man. He's putting her on the spot. Vicky's going out there, right? And then Vince McMahon comes out, and Vicky doesn't know.
What you're saying in basic formula
he's
is
ribbing
he gives her a script,
he's
and then
ribbing.
he comes out and he asks her shit that isn't on the script, so that she has to just improvise an answer, and then
he's ribbing her, man. He's ribbing her on live TV, man. That's what's going on, and you can see it.
I don't see that. I know what you're saying. I don't think so.
I think so, man. In Vicky's face, you can see it where she's flustered, man. She's like, I think I should say this, and then Vince goes over and says, yeah, right, yeah, you're getting there.
Being cheeky with her there,
right? He's saying you're getting there, Vicky, and then sometimes he'll go over and he'll whisper things in her ear, like say this or something like that. I'm telling you, bro, Vince McMahon is ribbing her on live TV, and we've seen it 2 weeks in a row now. You can't see that, man, when you're watching that last
I mean,
time.
he's putting her on the spot in a sense, like the guy in the chat said. That's a good way to word it. He puts her on the spot in that, like you said, he gives her bullet points, but then he'll go around the bullet points and ask her shit that has nothing to do with the bullet points she was given.
And that's
that way,
Vince.
It's like, I don't have an answer for this, Vince. I'm supposed to just, make one up right now? And then,
right.
Yeah, and he'll fire several questions at her that have nothing to do with what he pre-planned for
exactly,
her. And
exactly.
Just got to figure out an answer,
and it's,
you can see she's very unsure of what she's saying.
A double and Joe, says I could see Vince doing it, and that's exactly Vince McMahon, where he loves shit like that, where they always fuck with Vicky, man. They make fun of her weight, they make fun of her all the time on TV, and then Vince comes out and he ribs her on live TV, and he gets her off.
They got her being double teamed by a giant and a midget backstage. What happened to PG WWE? We got to get into that in hour number 2, because that shocked me. I was like, what the fuck? They didn't even address it. Vince is like, I thought we were a family show.
Right.
What the hell was that?
Well,
How'd they get away with that?
They're kind of getting away from the PG thing, man. I told you that last week, man.
The
last
was
couple
directly
of weeks.
saying, like, yo, fuck PG. We're not a family show.
Yeah. Right,
Threesome with a midget and a giant. Like, that's not PG. How the hell
Right.
could they do that?
Before we go to the break, we had Michael Cole. He introduces Antonio Cesaro and Kofi Kingston. They come out and they're on commentary for the next match, right? And we had R-Truth and Wade back. Actually, that's where the whole Vince McMahon thing came, where Vince McMahon... Cole introduced Cesaro and Kofi Kingston. They come out to sit at ringside for the next match, and then Vince McMahon comes out, and that's where, you know, he made the 3 main events for later
Wade
tonight.
Barrett was already in the ring when Vince came out. And then Vince
Right.
himself said, now get ready for the truth, and then R-Truth came out.
Right, so he made Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, he made AJ versus Vicky Guerrero, and then, like you said, this is where R-Truth came out. Vince danced around to R-Truth's music. How about Vince when he first came out last night with the walk? That was a good one, man. I know you always
even his backstage when they were doing the up next and shit, he had that fucking proud strut going. I was like, this is the fucking man, bro. God damn, he's the man.
There you go. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, play a couple of songs for you, and then we'll come back. We'll finish up Monday Night Raw from last night. How about a rapid fire in
Well,
our...
if you want to participate in this week's rapid fire, you can log on to the internet machine once again. Type into your web browser on said internet machine 3 W's, www.facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Once you get there, the top post will ask you to submit rapid fire questions and comments to tonight's program in hour number 2. We will answer them in a rapid style fashion. It's a great segment. Participate, if you will, by logging on to facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR on the internet machine. Ryan, take it away, brother.
And listen, one-liners only. Give us one-line questions and don't reply to other people's comments or questions. Don't reply. Well, you know what? It's the people that aren't listening to the live show that they automatically...
They're just your Facebook fans. They just answer the questions.
Right. All right,
I can help you with that.
So go ask some questions for the rapid fire segment. Also, go vote in the online poll that we have ongoing right now, WZROnline.com. Which soft drink is better, Coke or Pepsi? WZROnline.com. When we come back from this commercial break, we've got WWE main event spoilers, we've got Saturday Morning Slam spoilers, and WWE SmackDown is just now getting underway from Bridgeport, Connecticut. So we're going to have spoilers when we come back from the break. We're doing the rapid fire, we're taking your live phone calls, whatever else you guys want to talk about. You're listening to WZR Radio with Matt Boone and Ryan Clark. We'll be back right after this. Boone, I think, oh, you are back. You are here.
No, I haven't left yet. I gotta go to the store, and this is the only chance I get to do it. So at some point, I'll probably just talk the whole time through it anyway.
All right, here we go. We are, before we get back into Monday Night Raw, we've got WWE main event taping results that we're going to give you. These are for tomorrow night. Once again, it's going to be a special start time, 6 o'clock Eastern time, because it's going to be a Hurricane Sandy benefit concert that's going to air tomorrow night on a bunch of the major networks. So, here we go. The dark match. This will not air. It was Zack Ryder defeated a local indie wrestler. Not sure of the name, but that's what happened, man. Zack Ryder defeated him for WWE main event. Michael Cole and The Miz come out. They hype up Ryback against Alberto Del Rio. Going to be the main event for tonight. Ricardo Rodriguez comes out and introduced a video package for Del Rio. He was interrupted by Ryback. Ryback defeated Alberto Del Rio, won with the Shell Shock. In what was said to have been a pretty solid match, and Ryback was over huge with the crowd. 3MB came to the ring and complained about not being invited to perform at the benefit concert that I just got done talking about. So basically, this is going to air a couple hours before the benefit concert, tomorrow night. So they cut a promo, say that they're pissed off about not being invited to sing or appear at the show. They, Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel come out, they interrupt, they went back and forth on the microphone, and they set up a 3-on-2 handicap match. 3MB defeated Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd. Heath Slater hit Tyson Kidd with a spinning DDT for the win. And Kane versus Cody Rhodes is going to be the main event of main event next Wednesday night. For WWE SmackDown, they just started taping about 30 minutes ago. Sheamus and Antonio Cesaro were on commentary to open the show. The Big Show defeated R-Truth. Big Show won with a KO punch. Post-match, Big Show and Sheamus had a stare down. Cesaro hit Sheamus from behind, and both the heels headed to the back. Backstage, Big Show was claiming that Cesaro shoved Sheamus, and he bumped into Big Show, which was a violation of the no contract clause that they have. Booker T show. No contact. That whole clause that they built up on SmackDown last weekend, followed up with on Raw last night. Booker T basically told them to both shut up, and the TLC match for this Sunday night is still on. Damian Sandow comes out to the ring and introduces Cody Rhodes. Once again, Cody's mustache chance.
Yeah, we didn't even get to that yet.
All right.
That's the funniest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
You put no. Ryan Clark put up some photos of.
He put pictures. I didn't even know he put pictures.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it was on Raw last night. How long has he had it?
About a week. I put it up last week when you were away. He's the one that tweeted the photo, and then we just put it up on WZROnline.com, or I did. Cody Rhodes, or actually the Rhodes Scholars defeated the Usos. Sandow rolled up one of the Usos with a handful of tights. Cody's mustache was the most over thing in the match. The fans just continued to chant that throughout the entire match. And
they're doing that at Raw too, Cody's mustache.
Yeah. Big Show and David Otunga were backstage talking. They're going to have an in-ring segment at some point tonight, Big Show and David Otunga. So that's where we're at with WWE SmackDown being taped right now from Bridgeport, Connecticut. We'll continue to update these as we go on here through our numero dos. By the way, I cracked open a beer during the break, man. It's been a long day, I figured I can drink a beer or two, can't I? Right?
You kick back, relax, and you pop a cold one open. Absolutely.
Who else is drinking beer in the chat room? WZROnline.com /chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Half the people in the chat room are smoking their pot or they're drinking their beers.
That's what they were all saying before the show started, that they were smoking weed, yeah.
Smoking weed.
I actually just drank yesterday, but prior to that, I haven't drank in a long time.
Well,
it was the first time in a while.
Well, I entered the chat and everybody said, "Clark, hit this blunt." It was like there was a blunt going around the chat or something like that.
Yeah, they're one step ahead of you in there. Goddamn.
So, anyways, get to the chat room. WZROnline.com/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Let's get back into Monday Night Raw, then we'll do the rapid fire segment. We got to get the poll results too before we go off the air here in hour number 2. I think Coke or Pepsi. Go vote right now, WZROnline.com. Let's skip through Monday Night Raw, the high points. What do you next Monday night, man? The Slammy Awards are returning to WWE. What do you think about that?
I haven't seen those. I haven't seen them in a couple of years since it was like its own presentation. But I know the tradition has been the last few years that Raw would be a 3-hour show because of the Slammy Awards, and they've already got that now, so they don't have to add an hour this year.
I was thinking that last night, dude, that they've already got the 3 hours there, but it's so dude, it's a horrible show. It's a boring show. They have the thing up on the stage, and talents come out and they introduce oh my god moment of the year and
LOL of the year. Some dumb shit.
Yeah, dude, it's I don't know. I can get the. I'll go and get the full list. They announced them last night. By the way, the only way that you're going to be able to vote this year for the Slammy Awards is through this new app that they have, for the smartphones and everything else. You're going to have to vote on this app. Like, you can't go to WWE.com, and they're trying to get this app over huge. They just, redesigned it, and, it's got WWE.com and all these interactive features, right? So the best way to do that, I mean, it's a smart move by WWE where they want millions of people to go on their smartphones and download this application. So how do you do it with the Slammy Awards next Monday night? It's not like it matters anyway, but I mean, we know that all the polls are rigged, right? I mean, we clearly know that, there's a creative script, so they need to know the outcome before the polls are even put out to the fans.
I highly doubt it, because let's say there's 4 nominees in each case. They can't have 4 different ideas just in case. I mean, they have hard enough time coming up with one idea every week without changing it 100 fucking times right before the show starts.
So anyways, they're going to make you go and download this application if you want to be able to vote for the Slammy Awards. So that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. So you know that millions and millions of people are going to go out and download the app, and it's redesigned. They're trying to get it over big, and what better way? I mean, it's a smart move. You know what I mean? As far as marketing is
hey
concerned.
Man, you got to get your shit out there. That's what they're doing.
All right, so the Slammy Awards, right? They're coming back next week, and we've got Superstar of the Year. That's there every year, right? The Breakout Star of the Year. That's there every year. This year they've got the Trending Now Award, which is basically hashtag of the year. We've got Comeback of the Year. Kiss of the Year. You know that you're going to have AJ Lee and John Cena nominated for that, right? You've got the Tell Me I Did Not Just See That, which is basically the most shocking moment of the year. You've got the LOL moment of the year, and you've got the Match of the year. You think they're going to use this theme song for the Slammers?
Hello. Good morning. Let's go. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Know you've been waiting. Temporary.
That was the theme song that they used last year.
I was going to say, is that a song I'm supposed to know? I didn't get the reference. So.
That was the theme song that they used last year for the Slammy Awards. So anyways, so there's your, there you go. They're coming back next week. So, alright, so what do you think, man? We'll skip over R-Truth and Wade Barrett. We had Cody Rhodes returned with the mustache. Huh?
With the mustache, and he had the dirt on his head. In that Miz TV segment, too. That's the first time I've ever seen Miz TV.
Right.
And the first time I've ever seen Miz since I guess he's a babyface now. That's what I gathered from watching the way he was acting and talking. But
he is.
God, that whole segment I thought sucked. You probably liked it. That's probably why you thought Raw was a good show. What did you think of that?
I thought the Miz TV segment was okay, man. I thought there was some funny one-liners, man, from the Miz, and
they were all trying to. The only guy I really liked was, well, as far as speaking, I like Damian Sandow's promos, but Cody Rhodes' facials, he was doing like a cheesy smile,
right? And
then he has the mustache too. I thought that was cool.
Well,
but Miz, I just thought Miz was awful.
Well, Sandow kept cutting in, man, with little one-liners of his own, dude. And I thought he was gold on the mic last night, man. And then Miz would fire back with his own comebacks. I mean, I don't like Miz. It's like Randy Orton. I like Randy Orton as a heel. I don't like him as a face. And Miz
is definitely better as a heel.
Miz is way better as a heel, man. And I just feel like, I don't know, man. And the babyface is brand new. They only did it a couple of weeks ago, man.
Yeah. Well, even as a babyface, he comes off to me as a heel. Like, he still seems like a heel. I mean, I could tell he's going for a babyface response, but he comes off as a arrogant, cocky son of, and it's not in a good way. Like Jericho could pull that off. He could be arrogant and cocky, or The Rock could be arrogant and cocky, but they could still retain their cheers from the crowd. This guy is just custom made to be a snobby, shitty heel that you just hate, like Paul Heyman or something.
I'm skimming through Raw. We had Alicia Fox and Eve Torres Divas match. We'll skip over that. The CM Punk promo, man. He comes out on crutches, right? Well, there was a backstage segment where CM Punk was on crutches. He arrived with Paul Heyman, and then eventually they come out to ringside, or they make their way out to the stage, right? And Punk, like we talked about earlier, said that he's getting all these tweets, and people are saying that he's faking the injury just because he doesn't want to face Ryback this Sunday at the pay-per-view. He says injuries happen when you're in WWE and you're a fighting champion, and you're working on a daily basis, etc., etc. And then they bring up the whole 388 days, 389 days now, and then Heyman gets on the microphone, right? And they kind of started the build to Rock versus Punk.
They absolutely
did, right?
They confirmed it. I mean, they guaranteed that he was going to be facing The Rock at Royal Rumble. They even said that, yeah.
Well, we know that now because
But-
TLC. I mean, CM Punk's not going to be in a match at TLC now, and the next pay-per-view after that is obviously the Royal Rumble. So they've got to do. I mean, Rock's coming back at the Royal Rumble to face the WWE champion. That's what he said months and months ago. So
Yep.
now it's
So
confirmed.
there's your match.
There you
And
go.
again, they're starting to build now, which is good because the Punk doesn't have a match like you said this Sunday, so he can already start focusing on Royal Rumble early ahead of everybody else.
Right.
The Rock's not even there, so it's not like his opponent's tied up in another program leading into TLC.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's going to be a nice long build by the time Rumble gets around. It should be interesting. The one thing about the promo though, I thought Punk. I said it earlier. Because it was 2 Punk promos he did. Came out and did a promo, and then Heyman talked, and then Punk closed with another half of a promo. I thought Punk's first half sucked, like bad, like it was not even good at all.
Mhm.
I thought Heyman was awesome. I thought he was he was the man. And then Punk's second half I thought was a little bit better. That was my opinion of that. I was just surprised to see Punk. It seemed like he kind of lost it a little bit.
Heyman's always gold on the microphone, dude. I mean, he never has an off night, dude. Heyman never has an off night on the microphone.
You know what it could be too? Heyman could be so much better that it makes Punk seem less good, if that makes sense.
Well,
Or if that's the right word.
I mean, listen, dude, it was one night, and not only that, but you're going to have The Rock coming back at the Royal Rumble, and there's going to be some mic work between the two of them, obviously. You know what I mean?
He'll have no shortage of material there. His only material tonight, or last night, was to explain that he's really injured, and that's it. I mean, he didn't have a lot to talk
Well,
about.
let me ask you this though: what happens going into the Royal Rumble, right? Where CM Punk is going to be there on a weekly basis, right? And he's going to be cutting promos, calling out The Rock. What about The Rock, man? I mean, there's got to be some sort of build where you would think The Rock's going to have to show up. I mean, we may not know about it. We know that The Rock's going to be at the Royal Rumble, and then the following night on Monday Night Raw, and he's booked for a couple of different Raws post-Royal Rumble and going into WrestleMania, but you would think that they're going to have him on a Raw or two to have these two face off one-on-one to...
You just mean for mic work?
Well, from mic workers, I mean, what's Rock? I mean, obviously you can have Rock appear via satellite or on a video on a weekly basis and do his mic work there, but there's got to be something live where The Rock shows up before the Royal Rumble.
Well, there has to be. I would imagine there's a plan for it, too. I mean, otherwise, just think of the video package alone for the pay-per-view. You can't have a video package where half of it's just a guy on a big screen. They got to have some face-to-face interaction.
There's got to be something where The Rock comes back before
and
the
even
Royal
like
Rumble.
E-Rock bottoms him, and then Punk GTS is it. There's got to be some kind of that stuff. I mean, it's not like it's a little match. It's Royal Rumble. It's WWE title. It's the Streak versus The Rock trying to win the title. It's huge.
Right, so they're going to have The Rock come on, like Boone says.
At least one Raw, probably two, I would say.
At least the Raw before the Royal Rumble. Yeah, at least 2 Raws, you would think, leading into the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And then you're going to have some stuff on the big screen as well. Well, they'll go out there and they'll tape some stuff with The Rock and he'll cut a promo.
pre-tape.
Right. And then, CM Punk's going to bring that whole thing up. You can't be here live. You got to do pre-tape segments. You got to appear via satellite, etc., etc. He's going to trash him for that, kind of like John Cena did. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, he might not go there because Cena did, and he likes to be original, but he
That's
might
true.
just find a different way to trash him for it.
That's true. What'd you think about Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus on Raw? I thought this, they gave it a lot of time, went to a commercial break in the middle of it. I mean, this went for a good 15, 20 minutes on Raw. And I thought they had a great match, man. Ziggler and Sheamus, on paper, it even
I
looked
didn't
good.
really watch. I just pretty much watched the finish with the chair and everything. That's pretty much all I saw of that.
Yeah,
match.
finish.
But at that point, we were running. It was getting close to 8 o'clock, so I had to try and get as much in as I could.
There was a match between Del Rio and Zack Ryder. It was kind of cool to see Zack Ryder. I mean, they're in Newark, New Jersey last night, right? Zack Ryder in Long Island, right? You got to put him when you're in, New York City, New Jersey, around that area. You got to put Zack Ryder on TV because he's going to get a huge pop there, And then I thought they were gonna do a squash, right? You've got Alberto Del Rio, main eventer, out there against Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder got in some offense, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, who's going over. over. But I thought too they were just gonna have, it was like a showcase match for Del. That's what I thought it would be. It was like a showcase match for Del Rio where he just gets his moves in, looks good, and beats him real quick. But yeah, they let Ryder shine a little bit, not much, but.
We had AJ Lee and Vicky Guerrero. They set up that match. I thought they were going to do that at the pay-per-view, but it's a good thing that they didn't, dude. You don't want that on a pay-per-view. You had Brad Maddox, the crooked referee that screwed Ryback out of the title at the pay-per-view. At Survivor Series, I think it was, right?
Hell
in a Cell. That's what it was. He comes out and he was dressed up as a referee, so you had the screw job finish there.
And he was blatant again this time, and he just straight wouldn't pin or count the pin when AJ had Vicky pin. He just stood there, and then Vicky rolled her up, and he did the fast count.
And then AJ freaked out after the match, and
oh my God, what do you think of that? That was a bit much. I mean, oh man, your boy Justin Roberts, she bitch slapped him to fucking hell. Did you see that?
Justin Roberts is a good buddy of mine. You know that, right?
That's what I said. That's what I just said. Your buddy Justin Roberts. Did you see? She smacked the shit out of him, dude. I mean, she smacked hard.
That was nasty, bro.
Real hard. Like that could have been a knockout blow. Like goddamn, she got her body behind it. Like that was a good left hook. Or right hook.
The whole screaming thing though, dude. I mean, she was ranting and raving around ringside, pushing over ladders, blah 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 blah.
I was picturing being in the audience, like sitting there right in front of her while she's screaming at the top of her lungs. It just seemed like, I wonder what those people sitting there thought.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous, man. But whatever. So anyways, that storyline continues. Vicky what was that? Cell phone?
Yeah, I gotta pass it off to my buddy who's got a text. He's got to answer.
No doubt.
I was going to point it out.
What else we got? Kofi Kingston and Antonio Cesaro. You know what? Another long match here, dude. And on paper, Claudio Castagnoli. That's who I know Antonio Cesaro is, man. Used to watch him in Ring of Honor under that name against Kofi Kingston. Two great in-ring workers. I think Kofi Kingston, man, give the guy a shot, man. I think the guy's got it on the microphone. He's a great in-ring worker. I think he's got potential, man. He just needs a push. I think Kofi Kingston, this is one of those guys you always say, where I can pick out talent. I think Kofi Kingston is one of those guys that could be a main event star if they give him the ball and he runs with it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I told you I had to hand the phone off for a second.
Oh,
I'm back now. Did you not hear me tell you that?
No, but how long does it take to hand the phone off to someone?
I had to hand it to him, and he had to read his text, and then, respond and hand it back.
Are you hitting the ball live on air? Something going on over there. What you doing, man? Get the
I'm not hitting a ball. Are you crazy? No, dude. There's a fucking kid sitting right now.
We had.
I don't know what you heard, but no.
We already talked about Miz TV, right? We Cody Rhodes was out there and everybody else. We had John Cena and The Big Show. This was the main event, right? Got about 10 minutes. And
the match sucked too. I got to watch that match. I thought that match was just boring.
Yeah, Kane and Daniel Bryan came out to make the save. Ryback came out, and then there was
everybody did. The Shield came out. Dolph Ziggler came out. It was a big giant clusterfuck at the end.
Big giant brawl, but I like the ending, man. I mean, it hyped up TLC. Really? I thought.
I thought it was okay. It's the last Raw before TLC, but you got. Okay, everybody from the pay-per-view out at once, and the guys that are facing off against each other at the pay-per-view are beating up other guys that they have nothing to do with. You know what I mean? It's like they should have focused it on. And the other thing, let me say real quick, was that they saved the Shield, Ryback, and Daniel Bryan and Kane. You didn't see any of those people. How many people? That's 6 people. You didn't see any of those people other than like a pre-taped Shield video promo.
Right.
You didn't see any of them people on an entire 3-hour broadcast. 6 of their top names. And I think that is why Raw felt long to me and felt lackluster, was because 6 of their biggest guys weren't even used until the last 2 minutes.
You know what? No, you're right. You know what? That's a good point that you bring up, man. Where a lot of those guys weren't seen throughout the night last night, man, until the main event segment, and then
other matches go longer, and you get backstage segments with people you don't care about, and in ring, that kind of stuff. That's why I thought the show felt slow and just underwhelming,
And then basically, what they left you with was Ryback destroyed the Shield, and then the show faded to black, man. So that's it for for TLC coming up this Sunday on pay-per-view. Real quick, let's run down TLC. We never do this. We never give predictions or anything like that. And then we'll open it up. We're gonna do the rapid fire segment. We're gonna give you the poll results, Coke or Pepsi, and be taking your live phone calls as well. So here we go. WWE TLC. This is probably the final card unless they add something at SmackDown tonight, which is pretty unlikely. The main event, John Cena against Dolph Ziggler. It's going to be a ladder match with the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. What do you think, man? John Cena, Dolph Ziggler. I'll give my prediction first, man. I think John Cena wins the match here. I think Dolph Ziggler gets screwed out of his Money in the Bank briefcase. He's held on to it for all this time. Then they go on, they do CM Punk versus The Rock at the Royal Rumble. Not sure who's going to win there. Probably CM Punk, and then eventually you're going to have, well, if the Rock, you know what they'll do? If The Rock wins there, they could merge the titles at WrestleMania, right? If John Cena has a Money in the Bank briefcase and The Rock takes the title from CM Punk at the Royal Rumble, Rock's WWE champion, he could go in to WrestleMania, and then John Cena, I don't know. John Cena could use his briefcase, merge. I don't know.
That's the only reason. I mean, if we're still doing predictions, you just went way off on.
Yeah, no, I did. You're right.
I agree with you because part of me thinks they're going to just let Ziggler retain because you expect him to lose. But I think for storyline purposes, like you said, Cena having that briefcase it opens up a lot of options. You know what I mean?
What do you think about that? Winter's Lair in the chat says merge the titles at WrestleMania, right? Where John Cena wins Dolph Ziggler's Money in the Bank briefcase. The Rock wins at the Royal Rumble. You go into WrestleMania.
Cena goes after the world title, and he goes in world champion. Rock goes in WWE champion, and it's title versus title rematch.
Something like that at WrestleMania. You can do a rematch.
That would also cover up the once in a lifetime thing, because this would be an excuse like, well, you know, this is to merge the titles. It was once in a lifetime, one-on-one, with no title on the line, you know, because there was no title on the line last year. So
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so what happens? John Cena or Dolph Ziggler? Who wins?
I'm going Cena. Yeah.
You're going Cena, so Ziggler gets screwed out of his Money in the Bank briefcase.
Unfortunately. Hopefully they have a good plan to take care of him afterwards so he doesn't lose face too much.
Exactly. Chairs match, World Heavyweight Title match. Sheamus against The Big Show. Big Show's current WWE World Champion. Who wins here, man? Sheamus or Big Show?
I would have to go with Sheamus.
I'm gonna say new champion too, man. New world champion Sheamus. Sheamus defeats The Big Show. 6-man tables, ladders, and chairs match. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. The Shield against Kane, Daniel Bryan, and Ryback.
See, this is what I hate about that is they got Ryback and the Shield on opposite sides. You can't have the Shield lose their first real match, but you can't have Ryback lose a third in a row either, even if he doesn't take the pin. So
Ryback's not gonna.
Pretty much.
I think the Shield wins here, but Ryback clearly doesn't take the pin. Kane will probably take the pin.
Take the pin or not, that's still technically 3 times in a row now he will have lost on pay-per-view. And he's over as hell, so they're only going to hurt him by doing this stuff.
Yeah, but that continues the Ryback Shield storyline angle, and I think at the end, Ryback will come out victorious somehow. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll say the Shield goes over here as, you know, they're brand new in WWE. They're pushing these guys right to the top, and I think they go over here. WWE Intercontinental title match. Wade Barrett against Kofi Kingston. I think Wade Barrett here, man. New champion.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the easiest pick of the night, I would think.
And just after I got done saying Kofi Kingston could be the next big thing in WWE, well, maybe if they get the IC title off of him, man, put it on Wade Barrett. Do something with Kofi, man. Do something with Kofi.
They're definitely doing something with Barrett. You can tell they're booking him that he's like on the rise. He's on the ascension.
Yeah, Barrett definitely goes over there. So new champion, WWE United States title match. R-Truth against Antonio Cesaro. Cesaro holds on to the title here, man. They've got big plans for him.
Yeah, agreed.
Tables match, number 1 contendership for the WWE Tag Team titles. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara against Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow. Rhodes and Sandow.
That's a tough one.
I think it'll be Rhodes and Sandow, and something will happen with Rey Mysterio and
Yeah,
Sin
they'll start
Cara,
feuding.
where they will start the feud and start the
Okay, that
build
makes sense.
until
Yeah, I'll go with that then too. Yeah.
somebody fucks up, man, and Rey or Sin Cara, one of the two gets pissed off at the other one, and they start the build, and Rhodes and Sandow go on to win. And
All right, I agree with that.
in the pre-show, doesn't matter. It's a Divas Battle Royal, #1 contendership for the Divas title. Tamina Snuka, Oksana, AJ Lee, Natalya, Caitlyn, Rosa Mendez, Alicia Fox, and maybe some others. I would say either AJ Lee, just because she's on the top right now, or Caitlyn.
Oh shit! You want me to predict a battle?
Well, I mean,
AJ, I guess. I mean, I have no idea on that one.
AJ or Caitlyn, one of those two. So there you go. TLC coming up. We're going to have live coverage on WZROnline.com on Sunday night. So stay tuned for that. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get into the rapid fire segment. We got about 20 minutes to go. We'll mix it up, man. If you guys want to call us, you can do so. It's 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070. We're going to mix up live phone calls and the rapid fire segment.
And
before
Pepsi.
and Coke or Pepsi. Go vote in our poll right now. WZROnline.com. It's on the right-hand side of the website, down underneath the shout box. Go vote right now. Let's go back to SmackDown being taped tonight. Actually, we don't have any updates on that just yet. We left off
tonight, anyway.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And the attendance is horrible, man. They're saying like less than 3,000 people in the building tonight.
3,000 for a SmackDown taping?
They don't draw much more than that, to be honest with you. Even at Monday Night Raw, they're only drawing, 5,000, 6,000 people, man. It's not good these days.
They're coming to Albany when? A couple weeks?
I think it's February or March.
What do you think they'll draw? What do they normally draw in Albany? About 2,500?
Usually it's decent. I mean, for a TV taping, it continues to get less and less and less, but it's just not Albany, man. It's all over the...
Like $2,000, $3,000?
For a Monday Night Raw, 5 or 6. For a SmackDown taping, about 4,000.
Really? 5,000 or 6,000 people fill that building for a Monday TV? I didn't know.
Well, I mean, the building holds 12,000, 13,000. I'd say 12,000 for, 11 or 12,000 for a WWE TV taping, So,
damn.
Yeah.
Because we went to one in Albany. I don't remember it being that many people, but...
Well, it holds 11 or 12,000 people, I know,
that's true. So half the building. Yeah, you're right.
That's about half the building. 5,000 people, 4,000, 5,000. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, Ryan, Matt, what's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Hey, now.
Hey, okay, first off, it is Pepsi. And number two, you guys haven't talked about it yet. Do you think Manny Pacquiao was still sleeping from his knockout? With some shit if you guys didn't see it.
Thank God he brought that up, because you were going to... Last week I said, we got to preview the Pacquiao fight, preview the UFC on Fox fight. You said, oh yeah, we will. And we didn't even get to it at all in the whole show. This week I said, we got to talk about the Pacquiao knockout. We got to talk about the UFC on Fox. 15 minutes left of the show, we haven't said a word. Did you watch the fights this Saturday, Mr. Clark?
I watched UFC and boxing on Saturday.
You watched them both? Yeah, I saw them both. I didn't see the Pacquiao fight live, but I watched it the next day, and it was whoosh. 3 knockdowns. The knockout was brutal. I mean, he was out for a good minute, flat on his face. It reminded me of that.
Are
I don't know
you?
if you'll remember.
Can I ask you? Are you in a car or something? I hear wind.
Yes, I'm in a car.
Oh, are you? All right.
Yes.
All right, no doubt.
Yeah, the window's down. But okay, so Rampage versus Vanderlei Silva and Pride. Do you remember that fight where he got kneed in the face, fell through the ropes, and was unconscious, with his hands by his side? Yeah.
I do.
The Pacquiao knockout was exactly like that, only he didn't go through the ropes and get stuck. He just went flat on his face under the ropes almost and was just out. Out.
Marquez knocked Pacquiao down in the second round, was it? I think it was the second,
I think it was
right?
the third round.
Third round,
Marquez knocked Pacquiao down with a great shot, too. It was a brutal knockdown. And then Pacquiao knocked Marquez down with a light shot in the fifth, and then in the very next round, Marquez knocked Pacquiao out cold. And it was only 1 second left in the round, too. It was right as the ref was jumping in to stop the round. Boom, knockout.
Right. So you had Marquez knock down Pacquiao, and then Pacquiao came back and knocked Marquez down, and then in the 6th round is where it ended. And man, oh man, what a knockout! And
Brutal.
not only that, man, but this is Pacquiao's 2nd loss in a row, man. He lost
technically
to
his third.
well-
Actually, technically his second, but because he lost the last Marquez fight, and you agreed with me when we watched it, and he lost that decision, but they gave him the decision anyway. Then the Timothy Bradley fight, he actually won that fight, but they screwed him in the decision there.
Right.
So now, so now he gets knocked out. It's almost like he's lost 3 fights in a row. The Mayweather fight's ruined now. It's never going to be what it could have been.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
That all up.
I was so on the Pacquiao bandwagon, man, and I said, yo.
I told you Mayweather would kill him too. Mayweather
I know.
killed Marquez when they fought.
And I had said Pacquiao, I'm taking Pacquiao all the way, just because Pacquiao had been defeating anybody and everybody, man. Pacquiao had been taking him out. And then I saw,
No, your argument, and it was a good argument, it was the same argument everybody in boxing had. Mayweather and Pacquiao beat the same people, but Mayweather would win a decision, Pacquiao would knock him out. And you're like, yo, Pacquiao's he's a beast.
Right.
He's better, And I always told you Mayweather would outbox the shit out of him. Pacquiao wouldn't even be able to find him.
I know people were going to call me crazy, and everybody did, and, I was going to, listen, Mayweather, if Mayweather versus Pacquiao happened, if it went down, right, I was going to take Pacquiao, knowing that Mayweather would probably win the fight, but I was going to take Pacquiao just for the hell of it, and I was going to just say, you know what, there's going to be a shocking upset, Pacquiao's going to take him out, Pacquiao's going to win the fight, people are going to call me crazy, and I'm calling myself crazy for even picking Pacquiao. But then I saw the Marquez fight, number 3, and I thought, man, oh man, although they gave it to Pacquiao, right? Although they gave it to him, he may have lost that fight. And then the Timothy Bradley,
definitely lost that fight.
right?
Yeah,
and then the Timothy Bradley fight. Listen, he got fucked, man. He got fucked hard, right?
Royally there, yeah.
And Timothy Bradley wound up winning the fight, but it was the fact that what I saw is Pacquiao had a difficult time with Bradley, man. Bradley put up a good fight, and Bradley's no joke. I mean, Bradley's a good fighter, you know what I mean?
He's a good boxer, yeah,
but
he couldn't outbox him.
But I thought Pacquiao was going to come in there, and I thought Pacquiao was going to destroy him like what I had been seeing. It didn't happen, so I backed off Pacquiao a little bit, and then, the last fight, listen,
let's say
knockouts...
Mayweather happened. Who do you pick? Do you still pick Pacquiao?
Yeah, I hate Mayweather. I hate Mayweather. You know what I mean? But listen, the Pacquiao knock. I understand, guys. He got knocked out. He lost the fight. He was knocked out cold, no doubt about it. But that can happen to anybody, man. It was a good punch. It was a good shot.
Twice in 6 rounds, because that first knockdown was
no,
too. That could have been a knockout.
No, but don't forget about the Pacquiao knockdown too, man. Pacquiao knocked down Marquez. Everybody forgets that.
It was a light night. He barely got it. And he didn't go all the way down. His glove touched. Remember, he didn't even actually get knocked down. His glove touched the mat, so they called it a knockdown, which is the rule in boxing. But Pacquiao got floored hardcore in the 5th, or the 3rd, and then knocked the hell out in the 6th. But Pacquiao's still one of the best in the world. He ain't got nothing for Mayweather.
Right. No. I agree, dude. I agree. But I would still take Pacquiao over Mayweather. You know what I mean?
I'd take your money on that if you actually pay up on it. And we have a T-shirt that's still outstanding. But
what are we saying in the chat room? It's my show. What's going on? We gotta call us up live right now. 518. So I'm waiting for phone. I don't have any phone calls, man. I'm just waiting for you guys to call up live, and then I'll take your calls. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, Ryan, I was browsing online the other day, and on 5dimes.eu, it's a sports betting website. They actually have TLC. You can go bet on the results on it. And it's strange that Cena and Sheamus are both huge underdogs on there.
It's a betting site?
Betting odds?
Yeah, it's on 5dimes.eu. I use it all the time for NFL, college football, baseball. This is the first time I've ever seen WWE on there, and they have TLC up there, and it's a legit site. I've cashed out plenty of times. And they have Cena and Sheamus as huge underdogs.
Really? I can't believe you can bet on WWE.
They have Cena and underdog. Dude, you need to go make some money. If I had any money on my card right now, I'd put a bet in on Cena because you know he's going to win.
Right?
It's easy money, and if he's an underdog, you get odds on top of it. Shit.
Well, you don't know he's going to win because the whole briefcase thing with Dolph Ziggler and the money.
Pretty safe bet.
I'd say it's a safe bet. Yeah, no doubt. I'd go bet and make some money off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't
what
believe.
Are the odds, dude? Is he still on the line?
I can't believe you can bet on pro wrestling, dude. Come on, dude. Pro wrestling's scripted.
That's weird. Not for, I mean, for WrestleMania sometimes, like, but, geez, for TLC, I guess they must cover every WWE event. You should start betting and shit.
Right?
Well, you clean up. You got the inside too. You call your friend up, like, hey, who's going over? And like, keep it quiet. And then just go bet.
There you go. Hey, listen, listen. I'm waiting for you guys' live phone calls. I see you guys in the chat room. I see you talking about it. If you guys call up, I'm gonna answer, man. I mean, we're unscripted. Anything goes, man. So call us up. It's 518-712-3070. Here we go with the rapid fire segment. Sometimes we don't get through all of these guys, man. I mean, listen. There's so much that we try to do in a 2-hour show. You know, we run down Raw, we run down pay-per-views for you. We take live phone calls. We try to shout you guys out in the chat room. We try to.
Dude, we're very loyal and dedicated, and then furthermore, proof of that is I'm sitting in a parking lot right now, and it doesn't look like the best neighborhood in the world. And I'm just sitting here doing the show. I have no idea what I'm doing. He just drove here and got out.
I'm telling you, man, we try so hard to answer these for all you guys, man. If we miss you one week, man, I promise we'll get to you the next week. We can't get everybody, but we try, man. So here we go. Rapid fire. Justin Nesser. Oh boy. Justin Nestor, 7.5 inches, blah 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 blah. And who else is who else is returning to WWE, and why are they bringing back old talent? So basically, the deal is they want to bring guys like Billy Gunn. Just re-signed with WWE today.
Is that official? I heard that.
That's official, man. He re-signed with WWE. We've got. I mean, basically, here's the deal. Road Dogg is an agent in WWE on the main roster. He's at all house show events, television tapings. He's a backstage agent. He works on the main roster. Billy Gunn has re-signed with WWE. He's going to be working in developmental for NXT. As of right now, there are no plans to bring back the New Age Outlaws in WWE. Billy Gunn is not going to be back on WWE TV. That's not to say that in a couple of months from now, they may bring them in, especially with the the revamping of the tag team division these days, to have somebody like the New Age Outlaws come back and wrestle. I mean, Billy Gunn, we saw him not all that long ago with the DX reunion on, I think it was the 1000th edition of Monday Night Raw, and he looked,
they were both on it,
and he looked great, So never say never, but he is back, and he's going to be a trainer in developmental for right now. And then as far as
Brian James, the Road Dogg Jesse James, he was on WWE. He was on the latest Legends of Wrestling Roundtable where they discussed the history of Raw, and he was on the new WWE Attitude Era DVD. And this is shit. I'm telling you, man, I can't believe you don't watch this stuff. You would mark the fuck out if you watched it. I promise.
And as far as who they're going to bring back, we put an article up on the website today. There was talk about MVP and Shelton Benjamin. MVP actually came out on Twitter about an hour or two ago and denied that he had been contacted. And we specifically put in the article that WWE has not reached out to any of these talents yet. They haven't talked to Shelton Benjamin. They haven't talked to MVP. So when MVP comes out and he says, I have no idea what you're talking about, these are all rumors, I haven't been contacted, he's right. He hasn't been contacted yet. But there has been talk, over the past week or two about bringing some of these guys back to work with some of the younger talents to try to get them over as far as mic skills are concerned, as far as in-ring work is concerned, to have guys, veteran-type guys who have been in WWE, who have worked in WWE before, to bring them back to work with some of the younger stars. It's a good idea. So MVP and Shelton Benjamin are two of those people, despite MVP, denying that he's been contacted, because he probably hasn't up until this point. But we'll see what happens over the course. Jonathan McDonald, what do you think, Ryan? Undertaker versus Punk at WrestleMania, is it happening? It's a good question, man. We know that Undertaker is confirmed for WrestleMania 29. Who his opponent remains to be seen. But, like we talked about last week, man, if CM Punk is still WWE champion, by that point they could do CM Punk's title reign against the Undertaker's undefeated streak. That would make for a great... it's intriguing, you know what I mean? Is Taker's streak going to end? Is CM Punk's title reign going to end? If Punk's title reign ends, does Taker have a run as WWE champion?
Or does he retire as champion with his streak intact? That's a nice little send-off for him.
That would be a great send-off, right?
The big injustice, if you ask me, is that they're going to do Brock Lesnar Triple H 2 as opposed to Brock Lesnar Undertaker.
They are not. They
build-up.
are not going to do Triple H versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 29. That is not.
Oh, really?
That is not happening.
I thought they were doing the rematch there. That's not a go anymore?
They may do the rematch in the future, but as of right now, not at WrestleMania 29.
I had heard it was. It was supposed to be, right, though?
They are good. Well, there were plans to do a rematch.
At WrestleMania. That was a plan at one point, yeah.
That was the plan at one point, but it doesn't seem to...
Yeah, okay, so they changed it. Well, then maybe they are doing Lesnar Undertaker. That would be the better choice, if you ask me.
Hold on one second. Let me, hold on a minute. Get to our live chat room. WZROnline.com /chat. WZROnline.com/chat. And get there. We talked about the Undertaker at WrestleMania 29. Now I'm pulling up a report. We've got some of the rumored matches for WrestleMania 29.
What do we got?
On the website. Stall for me for 1 second.
Yeah, I mean obvious ones. I mean it's talking rumors. You got Rock and Punk or Rock and Cena. You got Undertaker. And
all right, we've got It would be The Rock versus John Cena, possibly for the WWE title. There was talk, like the question or the rapid fire question. Who was it that asked that? Jonathan McDonald. There was talk that they're going to do CM Punk versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29. Could be a streak versus title match. Ryback against The Big Show. The idea there would be Ryback would get his big WrestleMania moment where, he would hoist Big Show up on his shoulders and hit the shell shock on him. It would be that WrestleMania moment. And then Sheamus against Randy Orton. And that's why there's talk about, putting the world title on Sheamus this Sunday at TLC, if not there at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And then Randy Orton, they've already started the slow tease for a heel turn, so you would have Sheamus against Randy Orton for the world title at WrestleMania. So those are the rumored matches right now. And don't forget, you've got Brock Lesnar and you've got Triple H. Of course, there's a possibility that they could do the rematch at WrestleMania 29, but as of last word, they weren't going to do it. That's not to say... I mean, listen, man, we're only in December. WWE doesn't even know what the top WrestleMania 29 matches are going to be. So you guys are asking us... And when WWE doesn't even know, it's hard for us to give you answers. You know what I'm saying, dude? Especially when the company doesn't even know themselves. Back to rapid fire. Lewis Daw, is Dolph Ziggler going to cash in Sunday before his match with John Cena to make Cena versus Ziggler for the world title? They could do it. I mean,
well, no, because then what's Sheamus and Big Show going to be? That's just going to be a regular chair. I don't.
No. They would have Sheamus versus the Big Show earlier in the show, and then they would have Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, and have him cash in before the. Oh, okay, I got you.
Cash in before the match, and then you would have John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler for the world title as Dolph Ziggler.
That's an idea. I mean, I doubt they do that, but that's a good idea.
And that would take the whole stipulation away from what they're currently building up, that the Money in the Bank...
More false advertising. Maybe they're copying TNA's false advertising with the one final time or whatever.
It's a good point. I mean, God, half of us, man, should be bookers for WWE. Some of the ideas that these guys come up with are way better than anything WWE can think of,
Well, the problem is you burn out quickly. I mean, you can come up with some good ideas, but every week, 4 different shows, and then they all got to build up to one big show every 4 weeks. Like, after a while, you got to run out of shit. I mean, there's no off season, so.
Kevin M. Espergesi, do you ever take your hat off? Every picture you have a hat on. I don't.
I can answer that. No, and I mean emphatically no. If you go to Las Vegas and there's a no hat dress code policy, he's not going. He says, I'll go somewhere else. I'll go gamble at this other place. Fuck it, I ain't taking my hat off.
I don't take the hat off. The hat is the hat is glued to my head, bro. It doesn't come off, man. George.
Yeah, that's true.
George Gonzalez, what do you think Billy Gunn's going to do in WWE? We talked about this, man, a couple minutes ago. He is, as of right now, one of the trainers for NXT. There are no plans for him to appear on WWE television. That's not to say that that may not change, but as of right now, he's going to be down in Tampa, Florida. He actually lives in the Florida area. I'm not sure if it's Tampa, but it's somewhere around Florida. And he's going to be a head trainer down in NXT for right now, working with the developmental guys. Coulter, Cool Dip, man, if Cena takes the briefcase from Ziggler, who do you think they'll have win the Royal Rumble? That brings up another question, man. Is the Royal Rumble winner is supposed to go on to WrestleMania to challenge? Right. There are so many. I mean, listen, after TLC this Sunday, we're going to have a much better idea of where they're going as far as WrestleMania is concerned, where they're going as far as the Royal Rumble is concerned. TLC is a big pay-per-view, and it officially pretty much begins. I know everybody says the Royal Rumble begins the road to WrestleMania, but after TLC, we're going to have a much better idea of where WWE is going as far as WrestleMania is concerned. Lewis Daw, again, with CM Punk injured and WWE seriously lacking star power with the 3-hour Raw, can we see the return of Funaki sooner than we expected?
Oh, that's the one everybody's waiting for. I mean, you got the answer. That's an important question.
Of course, brother. Funaki, come on, man.
Fuck out of here.
Robert Paul Connor, do you agree the newer Big Show character is the best they had out of the millions they've tried? You know, Big Show's always going to...
I don't think he's all that great right now. He's done a version of this before anyway. I think he's been so misused since the day he got there that he'll never be... Like, he could have been another Andre the Giant. I mean, he's just as big, if not bigger, and... He just doesn't seem like he just seems like another guy.
He's always going to be the Big Show. I agree. You know, it's
Same
the
as
Big
Mark
Show.
Henry or those kind of people. You can put whatever clothes on him you want or give him any promo bullet points. It's still the same character.
Right. I think Ryback, I'm telling you, man, Ryback is the new guy, man. Continue to push this guy, and Ryback is
he's going to evolve as time goes on too. They're gonna fine-tune him as time goes on, I think.
Right.
He's over. I think he's over for good.
He's over for good, man, and I'm telling you, Ryback is the next big thing in WWE for sure. Jonathan McDonald, why do they constantly fuck Dolph in every situation? Sheamus gig is too old, Cena gig as well. They need new blood. Well, I mean, they're building new blood. You've got guys like Ryback, who's, I mean, just in the last month or two has really come around, and that wasn't supposed to happen. Remember, CM Punk got injured, and Ryback wound up stepping up. They did the backstage.
For him, yeah.
Right, you know, and look where they got him. So, I agree, man. Dolph Ziggler gets fucked over, but I mean, if he loses the Money in the Bank briefcase, Dolph Ziggler is, I mean, listen, he's a young guy. He's going to be there for years to come, and eventually his time is going to come. You're going to see Dolph Ziggler as WWE World Champion at some point during his time.
I'd say next year, yeah, absolutely. At some point.
Right. Just wait it out. I know everybody wants to wait, or everybody wants to see it happen right now. It's got to happen right now. Wait it out. Dolph Ziggler is going to be a big thing for years and years to come in WWE. So, trust me, it'll come. Lance Winter, you guys thoughts on Tough Tough 16, the Ultimate Fighter 16, coming up this weekend. Roy Nelson against Matt Mitrione. What do you think about that fight?
I couldn't give a fuck about that fight, honestly. I think that's a tough one to pick, actually, because, I mean, I could see it going either way. I could see Matt Mitrione just beating the shit out of Roy Nelson and Roy Nelson being a punch bag, or I could see Nelson knocking Mitrione out. But actually, I don't know. I guess I'll just say Mitrione. I'm not confident either way, though. I'll put it that way.
We're at 10:01 Eastern time. I'll go a couple minutes late so we can finish up these rapid fire segments.
Yeah, try and make it quick, brother.
All right, Hussein Al Salemi, Ryan. WWE promos are better than TNA stars because they engage the fans in the conversation. Like when the fans chant something, they listen. Well, TNA guys keep on talking. What do you think? I think TNA is more. Basically, it's a worked shoot where they give guys a lot more leeway on the microphone, And I think, to be honest with you, I think TNA promos are better than WWE. WWE is so scripted that sometimes these guys sound like robots. Where
I mean, there's a select few like Punk and Heyman, people like that even if they're scripted, they go off script enough that it seems like a natural promo. But TNA, they're allowed to be themselves, it shows.
I can let you go, man. I mean, it's just rapid fire segments, so I can answer these questions if.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
This phone's gonna die anyway, and I'm still on the road, so it'd probably be better.
All right. I will see you next Wednesday night, right? We're gonna be here Wednesday.
Yes,
Wednesday.
I'll be there.
All right. Wednesday, 8 to 10 Eastern time. I'm gonna stick around. I'll continue to answer these rapid fire segment questions, and then give you guys the SmackDown spoilers, and then I'll get out of here. Boone, it's been fun as always, brother, and I'll talk to you throughout the week, and see you next Wednesday, man.
All right, 2 fingers, baby. That means peace.
Yeah, that means fuck you, too. Double 2 fingers, 1 on each hand, right? Fuck you. Get out of here. All right, here we go. Back to rapid fire. Hussein Al Salemi. Oh, we already did that one. Brock Flucker. How about your boy Teo getting screwed out of the Heisman? Listen, man, Johnny Football, you knew he was going to win them. You knew the quarterback was going to win the Heisman Trophy. Manny Teo, listen, he was number 2. I didn't expect him to win. I knew Johnny Football was going to get it, and he did. So what are you going to do? We'll see Alabama soon enough in the national championship. Justin Nestor, and play some real music, hip hop. Play hip hop all the time, man, but people get pissed off. That's the thing. I can't keep anybody happy. If I play Slayer, everybody says, "Oh, this metal shit sucks." If I play Metallica sucks. If I play hip hop, you got to go back to Slayer. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a different taste in music, so I try to switch it up for you guys. Vincent Nugent, what's up, bot? What are you guys' thoughts on the surprising Juan Manny 4 fight? Manny getting KO'd. Talked about that earlier, bro. I see you in the chat room, bro. It was crazy, man. Manny Pacquiao knocked out cold. You know what I mean? It happens. It happens. You know, what are you going to do? Lewis Daw, again, brother. What do you think about WWE officials meeting with Millennium Stadium officials about hosting SummerSlam in Cardiff, Wales? Is it? Sorry, UK fans, I don't know. Cardiff, Wales, I think. We'll see, man. I mean, SummerSlam or even any WWE pay-per-view overseas, there's always that time difference. You know, there's like a five-hour delay, I think it is, 6-hour delay, depending on where you guys are in the United Kingdom. So, you know, if a WWE pay-per-views, it would have to air on tape delay in the United States, because WWE pay-per-views over here start at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That would mean that the pay-per-view over there would have to start at 2 a.m. in the morning, and it wouldn't finish up until about 5 or 6 a.m., and that just doesn't work out. So, I don't know, man. It's very difficult for WWE to do a pay-per-view overseas. I mean, UFC does it, but they air it on tape delay, and that causes a lot more problems for WWE than it does for UFC. So we'll see what happens, though. Christopher Brown, since Lita's backstage more often than not as Punk's eye candy, why not bring her back full-time to inject some life into the Divas division? I asked myself that, man, a couple of weeks ago. For those unaware, CM Punk and Lita, they are a real-life couple, have been dating for several months now. You know, it's up to her. I mean, I'm sure WWE would take Lita back at the snap of a finger. If Lita said, "I want to return, I want to be back full time," they would take her back. I'm guessing she doesn't want to come back. She doesn't want to be tied down to WWE. Otherwise, she would have been back by now. And that's pretty much it. I mean, come on. If Lita went to WWE and said, "Listen, I want to come back," do you really think WWE would turn her down? Especially with the way the Divas division is right now? Come on, no way. No way. So I'm guessing it's more her than it is WWE. I'm sure they're trying to convince her to come back, but she may not want to do it, you know? Jesse Young, do you think Tyler Rex accusations are legit? The Twitter stuff where he came out and basically lashed out on Bill DeMott, I think it was it Bill DeMott? WWE Developmental. you know, a lot of people in developmental say that there's a lot of ribbing, there's a lot of hazing that goes on, and it happens everywhere. You know, it happens in NFL locker rooms, happens in MLB locker rooms, it happens in WWE locker rooms, it happens in college frat houses. I mean, there's hazing, there's ribbing that goes on. It happens all over the place, you know. You just don't often hear about it. And when guys get fired and guys come out and, you know, they lash out, they're pissed off, they just lost their job, they just got fired, and they lash out at the company. But hazing happens everywhere. It's not just limited to WWE or, you know, pro wrestling. It happens all the time. Lewis Daw, again, do you remember last week when you said, can you get Funaki in for an interview? When is that happening? I don't know Funaki. I don't talk to Funaki. So I don't think it's going to happen, brother. Vincent Nugent, what's up, bot? With a possible WWE signing of Billy Gunn, might see a reunion between him and Road Dogg. Talked about that earlier, man. You know, Billy Gunn, NXT right now as a trainer. With the revitalization of the tag team division, never say never. It'd be kind of cool to see them back in WWE at some point. Like I said, never say never. But as of right now, Road Dogg's an agent on the main roster. Billy Gunn, NXT, as a head trainer. Hubbard Collins, 2 questions. What's the schedule for next week with 5 nights of wrestling? Our schedule, we're going to be here next Wednesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. Live WWE SmackDown on Tuesday night. You've got WWE Main Event and the Tribute to the Troops that they're going to air on Wednesday. CM Punk or the Big Show. I think the Big Show is going to be on Burn Notice, and CM Punk's going to be on another television show. You've got Monday Night Raw on Monday, obviously. It's a big week for WWE next week on the USA Network. And for us, Wednesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time, next Wednesday, obviously. Matt Chavez, I think the Shield will help Ziggler retain his briefcase after winning their match. See what happens, man. We're going to know a lot more after TLC this Sunday, brother. Trust me, man. You know, where they're headed for the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, etc. Tyler Bertay. Will Karma come back to WWE anytime soon or at all? No, probably not. I mean, not in the near future. When she came to WWE, listen, Karma has got a lot of, how do I put it, emotional issues, where, you know, it's almost, I mean, some people say she's bipolar, she's got depression, she breaks down, she gets stressed out. I mean, people say she's the nicest woman, but then she'll have these mental breakdowns where it's a completely different side of her, and I've never dealt with it, but I know people, you know, that are bipolar like that, you know, suffer meltdowns and things like that, and that's tough to deal with, and is part of the reason that she's no longer with WWE. I mean, she came in, and they were going to push her to the moon, and then, like a month or two after she came in, and as soon as they started the push, she said, I'm pregnant, you know? So they gave her the 9 months off, and she wound up having a miscarriage and never was able to deliver the baby. And then they wound up releasing her, and it just turned into a whole mess. So as of right now, no, she's not going to be back in WWE anytime soon, man. Probably more along the lines of TNA or the indie scene. And Hobart Collins, one last one. What's the possibility of Ziggler cashing in Money in the Bank before his and Cena's match? Somebody asked that earlier, above in the rapid fire segment. I don't think so, man, because the whole stipulation of the John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler match is the briefcase is on the line. So I think they're going to go with the main event match, with the stipulation still being there. But never say never. I mean, Ziggler could come out, like somebody said earlier, during the Sheamus versus Big Show match. You know, that's a chair match. You know, Sheamus just absolutely kills Big Show with a chair or something like that. Ziggler comes out and cashes in and, gets the quick pin or something like that. You never know, man. But I think they're going to keep the stipulation. You're going to go into the match. It's going to be John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler. Money in the Bank briefcase is on the line. I think Cena winds up winning. Dolph Ziggler gets screwed out of the briefcase. But it's possible, man, that he may cash in earlier than that. That's it, man. It is tough to rant and rave with no backup here, no Boone. It's quiet without him around, though, you know what I mean? Real quick before I go, WWE SmackDown is being taped right now in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Let me give you the spoilers. We left off, there was a backstage segment with The Big Show and David Otunga. They were talking backstage. They eventually come out to the ring. They said that Sheamus violated the no contact agreement, and since Booker T earlier in the night did nothing about it, they're going to go to the board of directors to get the match called off and have Booker removed as general manager. That's the cue for Booker T to come out. He comes out, he interrupts, and Sheamus eventually hits the ring as well with a chair and said if the contract has been broken, there's nothing stopping him from right now unloading on Big Show with the chair. Show cowers away and says, no, the contract is still valid and the TLC match is still on. And Otunga winds up eating a brogue kick, and that ends the segment. There was a backstage segment. It was the Shield, and they were doing a beatdown on Randy Orton. The cameras were eventually turned off. They walked away, and Randy Orton was put through a table in the backstage area. The Divas match was Kaitlyn defeated Oksana, and just said to be a horrible, horrible match. There's a backstage segment. Matt Striker announced that Randy Orton had suffered a separated shoulder and possible concussion from the Shield's attack moments ago. There was a Miz TV segment, and the guests were Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. They put themselves over as United and Unstoppable. Up on the Titantron, one of the glitchy videos that you saw from the Shield on Raw last night, they interrupted. After the video was over, the Shield were shown in a luxury box and slowly made their way to the ring through the crowd. They made it about halfway down, and Ryback's music hit. He comes to the ring, and the Shield headed back up the stairs towards their luxury box. So they want nothing to do with Ryback. Tyson Kidd, Justin Gabriel, The Great Khali, and Hornswoggle defeated the team of Primo, Epico, and the Primetime Players. Tyson Kidd rolled up, I believe, Primo for the pin, and then we had Intercontinental Champion Kofi Kingston pinned Alberto Del Rio, which was kind of odd. Kofi Kingston, I'm telling you, man, Kofi Kingston could be a big star if they push him. Picked up the win here over Alberto Del Rio. So we'll see what happens at the pay-per-view. After the match was over, Wade Barrett runs down and blindsided Kofi. Kofi was able to evade it and hit the trouble on Paradise. So that basically means Kofi gets the upper hand on SmackDown. What happens at the pay-per-view? Wade Barrett gets wins the title there, like we talked about earlier. And then we've got a Dolph Ziggler and John Cena going face-to-face for an in-ring promo. That's coming up next on WWE SmackDown. The tapings are ongoing right now. We're going to have live spoilers up on the website. It's going to be a pretty busy night. A couple of news posts are going to go up right now. Like I talked about earlier, MVP denies that he's been contacted by WWE. But like I said, there's been talk that WWE is going to bring people back, mid-card guys like Shelton Benjamin and MVP. It's only talk right now. They've only been talking about it for about a week or two, and none of these guys have been contacted. So it's no surprise that MVP comes out today and says, listen, I've been contacted by WWE, because he probably hasn't. But watch out during the next couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens there. Thanks to everybody who came out in the chat room tonight. And once again, guys, we're going to be here next Wednesday night. Wednesday, man. 8 to 10 Eastern time, same place, WZROnline.com/chat. Do the feedback. I'm going to put this up on Facebook right now. Submit some feedback. I know it's late, guys. Before you go to bed, just say good show, bad show. What can we do better? What do you want more of? Phone calls, rapid fire, anything else? Oh, the poll. We need to go get the poll results too. And Boone's not going to be here for it. Whoops. Alright, so there's the feedback post. Go to facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Submit some feedback and the poll. Here we go. WZROnline.com. We took a poll earlier tonight. Which soft drink do you prefer? Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Let me put in my vote for Pepsi. Hit the vote. Oh no! Alright, with 53% of the votes, Coca-Cola. With 47% of the votes, Pepsi. We lost by 2 votes. Pepsi lost by 2 votes. Come on, man. Are you serious? Are you serious? Lame motherfuckers. Get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, we're out of here. We'll be here. I gotta do something. Hold on a minute. Before we go off the air, I gotta do this. 1 minute. We're gonna be here next Wednesday night, guys. Same place, same time. WZROnline.com for Matt Boone. God damn it, man. God damn it.